tie for second in the conference, and that was a good way to finish 2013.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Tanner White and Huskies head coach Kurt Twitch. Hey folks, real special one for you today. Tanner White and Kalamazoo College offensive coordinator John Krajasik. Coach, been way too long. First of all, how the heck are you and how's this season treating you? Live from beautiful, sunny Kalamazoo College here in Kalamazoo, Michigan. We are so thrilled to have you back once again. Week 2 of MIAA play, the Kalamazoo Hornets and the visiting Olivet Comets. Tanner White, Kalamazoo football class of 22, and excited to be joined again by Quentin Powers. My man, how are you?
I'm doing great today, Tanner. How are you doing on this beautiful day?
Dude, we keep getting spoiled each and every Sunday out here, each and every Saturday out here in the zoo. I'm totally blown away by this again. Another 83 and sunny, and we are 15 minutes or so from kickoff of what should be a fantastic homecoming experience. It's been quite a while since Kalamazoo has taken down Olivet, but there's so much reason to be enthusiastic about it. You want to talk a little bit more about that?
Yeah, of course, Tanner. I heard you before the game mentioning how Kalamazoo hasn't beaten Olivet since 2013 and how Olivet hasn't had the greatest start to the season. They're 0-4 currently. They played last week, I believe, Adrian, and it was a rough game. But overall, Olivet just really needs to focus on getting that passing game down and starting to improve the rushing. Kalamazoo last week had another rough game against Calvin at Calvin. Overall, just wasn't able to convert on those red zone downs. They're 35% in the red zone this year and getting touchdowns, in that red zone, while Olivet is a little bit better, 80% conversion rate in the red zone so far. So I'm excited to see what happens on the offensive end of the game. Kalamazoo has to stay consistent. We're also looking at how Kalamazoo has 19 seniors. Tanner, Olivet has 4 seniors total on this travel roster today. Big difference in leadership. It's a young team, Olivet. They could be a little bit scrappy out there. Kalamazoo just has to stay persistent.
That's a staggering number, a staggering disparity between these two rosters, how they're constructed. It's really showed up late in games for the most part for Kalamazoo, but last week it was a costly fumble by Connor Bell against Calvin with a Hornet possession that looked real promising near the red zone itself, and then you had to settle for a field goal in an 11-point game. You didn't want to do that. You had to attempt an onside kick. They were unsuccessful, and it was a 24-16 loss. You look at senior quarterback Dawson Scoopin for Kalamazoo, who we're going to just absolutely expound upon throughout the entire evening because you can't miss what he's been doing. But the numbers still from last week, 377 yards. I mean, it's tough to ask a whole lot more of your QB between moving the ball, keeping the offense on target and on schedule, even still leading rusher for the team.
Right, and Scoopin is such a dog. He is the second in MIAA right now for passing yards and completions overall. He's just a presence out there to be known. Olivet's really going to keep their eye on him rushing and passing today. We're also looking at how Olivet is switching up their quarterback. The first few weeks we've had Daniel Avila starting for Olivet, and now this week Charlie Grant, the senior, is going to be coming back in. Curious to see what happens out there. Grant has only started 2 of the games, gotten a lot less reps than Avila, but he's a little bit bigger. We saw him warming up. Avila did not have any of his pads on, so we probably won't see any of him today. Curious what's going to happen there.
Yeah, as you saw that 2-deep roster, you read it, and then we started watching warm-ups. We said, I don't think so. And look, we can sit here and say, okay, we think we know what everybody's going to do here. We've studied all this tape and all these numbers. But you know who knows better than anybody and who has studied it more than anybody? Let's talk to Kalamazoo offensive coordinator John Krajasik. This was such a special one. I got to talk to Coach for actually the very first time doing a pregame interview with him. And let's hear what Coach Krajasik had to say about this game as I asked him, hey, Coach, how the heck have you been, and how's this season been treating you? Here's Kalamazoo OC John Krajasik.
Not bad, Tanner. Appreciate you having me on. I know I recruited you back in, what year was that?
Boy, the fall of 2017,
there you
maybe?
Go. Ages ago.
Yeah.
And, it's been fun to watch you grow, and excited to be interviewed by you now.
Hey, thanks so much, Coach. Let's talk about the game from last week. Last week is last week. That's kind of the best thing about college football, but it's a real tight ball game the whole way with Calvin. They did get their first MIAA win all time. 16 points is not really a number that's known to win MIAA games, but exactly what did you learn on film from that ball game with the big yardage but not a whole lot of points?
Yeah, I'd say that they made fewer mistakes than we did, and as you know, you can't win ball games in this conference doing that. We got to take care of the football. We got to be better in the red zone. I think that there's plays to be made, and confident we're going to get that fixed.
I also love special teams, as I know that your entire coaching staff around here does. Your dedication and your attention to detail, too, it's always on display, right? Lucas Hannafin's the reigning MIAA Special Teams Player of the Week for his returns. You coach that KOR unit, right? You've had fantastic specialists around here for years, and it looks like you might have found a new one. Talk to me about freshman kicker Cam Lewis from last week.
Yeah, excited to see Cam come into his own. He was hurt a little bit in camp, so we didn't have a great idea what he could do. He's gotten some practices underneath him now, and he's really coming into his own, and excited to see him grow.
You also have had kind of this real funny schedule. The biggest trip was, of course, the trip out to Texas, but you had a night game as well with a really good Calvin team, and then a 2 p.m. kickoff here today, as everything's always shifting around all the time. What's your thoughts on game day schedule, and has that created any kind of difficulties or extra considerations for you?
Yeah, it definitely keeps you on your toes. We try to make the best of it. With those night games, you get an extra walkthrough in Saturday morning. I would say we've got some strong veteran leadership that does a great job of keeping everybody on track, and changes in the schedule kind of have minimal impact on the team as a whole. So.
I know coaches are always real good at this too. I want to flash back to the last time you beat Olivet. That's who's in town here for homecoming. It has been a while. We're talking 2013. I told you as we had come on air. Admittedly, though, can you tell me what you remember of that game and some of the insanities to it, if you do have some memories of that?
I do. It was the last game of the year in 2013. We had 5 wins under our belts. They were a good football team too. They were doing a great job on offense. They had a receiver and quarterback that just nailed back shoulder throws all day. We had a hard time stopping it. We had Justin Danzy at quarterback for us, and he was playing really well. It came down to almost a trick play at the end. We had a running back up the middle for a big gain. Elijah Hamilton-Ray was a great player for us, and then I think we got a touchdown and a extra point to seal it, and then that got us a tie for second in the conference, and that was a good way to finish 2013.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Now, it has been a while, like we say, 11 years, but you get another crack at them for homecoming today. It's really hard to ask for anything more. Keys to victory to take down this 0-4 Olivet team here in 2025.
Yeah, we got to do what we do, and we do it at a high level. We got to minimize mistakes, unlike last week. Got to take care of the football. They are a new coaching staff and a young football team, and they keep getting better every week. Right? So their record does not indicate how good they are. They keep getting better. They got some high-effort kids over there, some good football players, and we got to come to play and take care of business.
Hey, thanks so much, Coach, and good luck here for homecoming. And that was Kalamazoo Offensive Coordinator John Kurjasic. We thank him so much for talking to us. Hey, here's the anthem. Great timing. So you've heard it in the intro of a Kanye West song. Even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night. 1:56 p.m. Our homecoming kickoff awaits us. The Kalamazoo Hornets, 3-1 coming in, and the Olivet Comets winless, looking for their first one in MIAA play, looking to extend a dominant 11-year win streak over Kalamazoo. Do you have the chills? Do you have the sweats? Is that just me?
I got the chills. I got the sweats. I'm actually very sweaty. It's very hot today.
My man.
I was talking to Tanner a little bit before. How do you feel out there? I mean, the heat is so blistering. It's really hot. I was on the field a little bit earlier with you. Tanner, you told me it's not as big of a difference as you think.
Yeah, I fully agree on that, and I stand by it. You are utterly, because of the adrenaline that's flowing there, just unaffected typically by the elements unless it's super, super severe one way or another. You know, if you've got 95 on that turf with heat index, let's say 110, something in that neighborhood, then maybe. But on a day like today, another unbelievably beautiful Saturday here in the zoo, it doesn't play a whole lot of a factor, the fact that it is nice and warm here. I say it's just comfortably warm when you're out there. Up here, of course, booth, a little bit different story. Yeah, we'll take some extra time at halftime probably to rehydrate around here.
Right, exactly. And here comes the players, captains, do the coin flip here.
3 out of 4 representatives for Kalamazoo in that coin toss. On the offensive side, Lucas Hannafin, all everything receiver, all MIAA second team selection last season. Dawson Scoopin, the ascending star at quarterback. Connor Bell, the one returning captain from last year's team. And then Corey Garrison, dynamite middle linebacker. Results of the toss coming in a moment. Okay, so the mic's cutting out here and there for our referee. You've got David Driscoll down there, but I caught enough. Zoo 1, defer. That's about all I heard, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right. Another more mic errors, but we can at least hear them.
Yes,
that's
true.
a big difference.
Right, it is a big difference from just a couple of weeks ago. That means Olivet is going to receive this opening kickoff, and they will likely trot out sophomore Christian McMillan. Out of Springfield, Ohio, McMillan goes 6 foot 170.
Olivet today. We're looking at Kalamazoo last week playing against one of the best rushing offenses in the MIAA. Olivet total 227 yards rushing on the season. Calvin last week, who Kalamazoo played against, has over 1,000 rushing yards. Going to be a big difference there for Kalamazoo. Going to have to focus a lot more on that passing game. Going to be a lot of work for those cornerbacks, but again, interested to see what Olivet does to change up. They're very young, very, very young. Maybe a star will rise in this game for Olivet.
Perfect football weather. The Honorable Judge Paul Bridenstine tells us over the PA system. And you can't wait a whole lot longer because here comes the kickoff. It's sophomore kickoff specialist Eddie Langton. Kalamazoo with this real waterfall kickoff approach. And we're underway here from Kalamazoo. The deep returner here is 11, Carter Leatherwood. Leatherwood a little bit beyond the 30 and tapped out of bounds. We'll get the first look at the Olivet Comets offense.
Solid start here for Olivet. Let's see who's coming out on the field for quarterback. Pretty certain it's going to be Charlie Grant, the senior from Charlotte. We're also looking at the rushing game. Divided in those 227 yards are many different running backs. They have played a lot of different people trying to find who can show up.
Yeah, it's a concerning number rushing-wise. It is 56.8 rushing yards a game. Objectively hard to win football games doing that. Find out on this very first possession. Couple of tight ends, one off the ball to the right. They want to throw on this first down. It's complete and a moderate gain. Carter Leatherwood, after the return, makes a reception.
Nice pass there by Grant to Leatherwood. Good little gain on that first play of the game.
Brandon Speed at that left of your screen cornerback spot. Olivet offense here in the first half, rather in the first quarter, will be going left to right. They'll show another 3 wide receiver set with 1 tight end and 1 back in the backfield. This is a handoff. It's got a whole bunch of space, and that's not tackled till it hits the 3rd level. A little bit of concern.
Well, that's something we have not seen from them. In fact, that might be the longest rushing gain of the season.
Wow.
Am I correct?
Man, okay, let's wait on the exact distance of it. But coming in, you might be right because it was 16, their longest carry of the season before this. And then those Red Seas kind of parts.
Oh boy, Kalamazoo's got to really crash on that. I know they're not expecting a lot of rushing today, but you really have to crash and stop that run.
Well, you say that, and then 2 plays into the game, okay, well, out the window. Forget about it. Charlie Grant, out of the gun. Grant hands off. They'll stretch it right side this time. Speed trucked, and Jalen Johnson might have another first down. Fantastic rushing start and doing it all on the ground. And I think we did officially have a 19-yard carry recorded by Jalen Johnson there. So you're exactly right, Quentin. That's the longest rushing play. It didn't take very long.
No, it did not at all. I'm curious if they're going to keep giving it back to those running backs. Jalen Johnson's out right now, bringing in someone else on the backfield.
2 wide receivers set. 1 each way. They'll stretch it again to the right side. This might be loose for the first down.
Well, excuse me, I guess Johnson was still in. Another great rushing gain. My goodness. Kalamazoo got to make a stop here on this second down play.
Oh, yes, you do. And 3 carries, 29 yards already. The gauntlet's been thrown down. The challenge is out there. They're saying, yeah, we are going to win this game up front if we're going to win it. On the second and short, motion a receiver over. Run it behind him. Johnson dropped for a loss.
There you go. That's what you want to see for Kalamazoo. Kalamazoo, the third best.
Timeout. Apparently that's going to be enough yardage.
Oh,
it's
my
tough
goodness.
to see where there was any. No, you didn't need a whole lot, but it's tough to see where there was any positive yardage gained.
Well, I guess another first down for Olivet. Excuse me on that. I was just about to say how Kalamazoo's rushing defense is the third best in the MIAA, with over around 270 yards allowed all season, which is a pretty great number to see. Olivet allowed 822 this season.
And one more time, when they bring a blocker, they run that way too. Now this one will go backwards. And Garrison and Cargill and everybody is ripping that ball out.
And if you're one of those defensive linemen, you're going to be a little upset because of the last few plays. So they're coming for blood right now.
Second down, call it 12 yards to go.
Johnson still in the backfield. Let's see if they give it to him.
Continuing to motion your tight ends all around. Grant looking to his right first, comes back for the middle, had a man, it's bobbled and dropped. Keep an eye on Leatherwood and his reactions and how he goes about making the next play that comes to him, considering body language. Thoughts?
Right. He was very visibly upset after that one. That's not a pass you want to drop, of course. But also, Leatherwood, a freshman, still young. Every single person on this team is pretty young. Everyone's trying to make an impression. Not something you want to do as a freshman. Just trying to stay consistent and get more reps.
All right, well, it's tough to say that every third down isn't a big third down, but this is a 3rd and 12 on your very first offensive possession when you've been marching. Let's find out. Grant flipped it out, quick, right, shorts, and complete for Wade Brashears. But you're talking a 4th and medium. This is a very much sort of triple point where you have lots of options. So you be the play caller, Quentin. Tell me what you might do on 4th and 5-ish.
Right, and I might go for it. I'm 38% on those 4th down conversions for Olivet. Not a terrible number. Looks like they are going to go for it. I would give it to Johnson here. Of course, he's been pretty consistent, but Kalamazoo might be ready for that run.
Clearly making their statement. Cards are on the table. They're going to throw for the sticks. It's going to be real close. Maurice wrapped it up. What do you think?
They're moving
them.
Nice conversion there for Olivet. Solid pass, yeah.
It's a gamble, too, right?
It really is. And it wouldn't have been the greatest field position for Kalamazoo. That's why you go for it. But a nice pass there to get them the first down and in the red zone right now.
Complete for Mercier. You got 2 receivers stacked to the left to the short side. And now they'll motion out to empty. Throw a smoke to the receiver that way. Caught by Leatherwood, and he's driven out of bounds. Got about halfway to that marker. You've still got a chance to get another first down with a goal to go.
Leatherwood's been a big target so far in this game. Unusual. We usually see other wide receivers targeted. We're looking at a lot of Mercier, as you said before.
Second down, call it 5 to go. Grant, toss, and a swarm. Cargill had him around the legs, but that second effort might have been enough for the first down.
Yeah, I think he got it through. Going to be looking at about 5 yards or so, 4 yards or so to the end zone.
We've been rolling the dice on spots here, and we haven't really been right on almost anything so far because here is clearly the first down. By the way, this guy Raymond Cargill comes in 10 tackles a game. Second highest on that Kalamazoo squad is Nolan Janiga at the nose spot with 20. Cargill's just dominant from that outside linebacker spot. On the goal to go from the first down. Hornets are going to keep him out one time. Here is Cargill bending that edge.
Nice stop there from the Hornets, keeping him out of there. Once again, going to have to do it for a couple more plays.
You're kind of thinking 3 more plays, right? I mean, we just saw him go for a 4th and 5 on that first Olivet possession. Yeah, why might you not go for it on here on your 4th down?
Yeah, no, and Olivet, they're not the greatest team rushing overall, but they do score the football. They're not afraid to score the football. They would want to get a touchdown here, of course, so I wouldn't be surprised if this got to 4th down, they'd go for it.
They get under center, I form, and so power football is not dead. Jalen Johnson plunged into the end zone from 2 yards out.
Gosh, and that's a big surprise for Kalamazoo. They did not expect a big rushing game at all, looking at the statistics in the previous games. But here we are right now with a great rushing touchdown from Johnson again.
What did I tell you, Quentin? They've had a lot of success historically against Kalamazoo in heavier offensive sets. They bring in 2 tight ends and 2 backs, and they tip their hand, and then they just bring it. Angel Potter, extra point, is no good. He pushed it left. Okay, 6-0 ball game. It's not quite a stop, but it helps.
No, it does help, and that could be the difference maker at the end of the game. Kalamazoo, I'm curious what their offense is going to do. I know Skupin's the main guy. I know we look at Hannafin, we look at Zekman as the wide receivers. But with Olivet's defense not being so great against the rush, are we going to see a lot more rushing out of Kalamazoo today? I'm very curious what they decide to do.
A lot to think about defensively. You saw pretty much all the tricks in the bag kind of early on, especially rotating between different personnel and different formations for Olivet. They can spread you out. They can get real big and real heavy and cram it down your throat. Hornets 2-deep returner look. Hannafin, the reigning MIAA Special Teams Player of the Week, gets his hand on this at the 16-yard line. Couple of crunch blocks. I think Jack Duggins threw the biggest of those. That guy is a football player, dude. I mean, every single week on film, you see him level somebody. You're like, oh, who is this? Oh, I need this guy. More snaps of this guy.
Yeah, he is a big dude. I've talked about him before playing basketball against him. Oh, my goodness. Some of these sheets, they say the heights, but it's just an understatement for how big these guys really are.
First look at the Hornets offense, and they will start empty. Dawson Skupin, your senior quarterback out of South Lyon. Skupin, designed roll. Plenty of patience, now gonna tuck it. Falls forward for just a couple.
Skupin staying safe right there. Didn't want to make an early mistake. No one was open. Good defense from Olivet. Gonna be around 2nd and 10 again. Or, excuse me, 2nd and 9.
Yeah, it'll gain a single yard, but that is your leading rusher for Kalamazoo, the quarterback. Connor Bell now is going to lead for Skupin. He takes off, and he is got a gain maybe 5 to 6, so a manageable 3rd down.
Nice gain there from Bell.
All right, 3rd and medium. 2 rushes for the quarterback, Skupin so far, who came in already as the leading rusher. Now you've got 3 receivers to the left. He's going to motion one in. That guy will set up and help in the protection. Skupin is still going to get crushed. And that ball was up for grabs and dangerous. It, thankfully, for Kalamazoo is incomplete. Christian McMillan in coverage.
Dangerous pass. Not the greatest first possession of offense for the Kalamazoo Hornets. Going to bring out the punt team here. Nothing working on that pass game. Solid run from Bell, just weren't able to convert.
That was the first 3 and outs to start a ball game this season for a program that kind of the slow starts had often bit them.
Right, and a team that's 50% on those 3rd down conversions, you really expect to see something different.
Carson Moat put this on the ground. This roll might be filthy inside the 10. Painted.
It looked for a second like it might have been an error, but it works. Going to be around the 8-yard line to start for Olivet. hopefully that helps Kalamazoo College on the defensive end here after the last possession and plays by Olivet on the offensive end.
Man, how difficult is it to make the decision as that return team has tried to set up blocks, but that kick coverage or punt coverage team is bearing down on you? You would love to see that ball, if you're Olivet, fielded, because that's a swing of, considering the roll on that punt, something like 30 yards of field position. So they start real backed up. Olivet, second drive at their 7-yard line. Had no issues on their first, getting it done mostly on the ground. This is blown dead.
Looks like they're calling a false start. Yeah, and they're going to be moving back. Olivet is moving back to going to be pretty far back there. Scary sight for Olivet. Kalamazoo, good chance to get a nice stop.
Yeah, this snap might come from inside their own end zone. That's not ideal.
Not at all. Let's see if Charlie Grant can get the ball out of there or Jalen Johnson run it out of that end zone.
Back in the pistol. Run it to the left to start with Johnson. He spins off a couple and is beyond the original line of scrimmage before he gets popped by, one of my favorite guys on this defense, Marcus Petty.
Oh, yeah. There's a lot of great defensive guys on the Kalamazoo College team. A lot of dudes who can get a really nice hit in. Just a dominating defense. They need to start swarming a little bit more right now. It hasn't been the greatest showing. They just got to focus on that run game. Get it to end a little bit more early.
It was 350 yards on the ground last year Olivet put up against Kalamazoo. That's too big a number. Play fake. Grant rolling out, tried to paint this one on the sideline, and he did. That's a first down.
That's a nice catch from number 23, Sufrin. Very nice. Excuse me, Suffrin.
After that first down reception, they're going to go and really change their personnel. You had 3 in and 3 outs. It's another thing to think about for defensive game planning for Clay Whitehead on the field. They're calling the defensive signals and all this, that, and the other. They're moving a lot of bodies around and getting matchups they like. Motion to tight end, run that way behind him with the guard too. And this is upended by Cargill after a short gain.
Man, they have not give Johnson a break. It's like he doesn't need one. He's just constant going and going.
Yeah, I think that comes down to gas tank. It comes down to, I am the leader of this backfield. I'm expected to be the leader of the backfield, so keep giving it to me until I can't.
Right, and a leader of the backfield as a freshman is something to not ignore. He's got a lot of years ahead of him, and he's looking great so far against Kalamazoo.
Grant out of a 3-wide set. Holds, fires, intermediate, and incomplete. Overshot Leatherwood a little bit.
All right, and we're looking at 3rd down for this Olivet offense.
You would have said maybe if it were Daniel Avila still back there, the quarterback run game might be in play. Probably not so much with Charlie Grant, right?
Yeah, that is correct. Grant has not shown any sort of movement out, even scrambling necessarily.
Hornets are showing a lot of pressure right now at the line of scrimmage. All of your linebackers bouncing around, making everybody think about it. And you've got a flag down. Let's sort it out. False starts. You know who I want to credit so much, and I haven't got to do enough of? Tommy Cardis, your senior middle linebacker for Kalamazoo. The one 5th year, in fact, on this squad. Guy suffers the injury last year and knew that he was going to come back, dedicated so much time to rebuilding his body, and just won the mental game right there, too, because this guy has been around forever, an absolute veteran. He's made the All-MIAA team before, and now you get a very backed-up offense that hasn't been explosive to the level that they'd like to this year. Make it a 3rd down and 12. Charlie Grant. Grant feeling the heat off the right edge. He is sacked. Zach Sykes, a psycho.
Yeah, that's what you want to see from Kalamazoo. This is the Kalamazoo I've seen all season, and this is the Kalamazoo I'm going to want to see for the rest of the game. Olivet those 2 penalties, pretty devastating. Really prevented them from getting anything rolling in those last few plays.
Yeah, and the difficulty, too, is with that field position, you're so backed up. You have Hannafin standing at almost midfield right now to catch this punt, plus your punter is in the end zone. This is a real short punt. It just got off. The roll is a little bit better and, in fact, will go beyond midfield.
That's a nice roll. Goodness, would have been, I think it bounced around the 40, 35-yard line. Not the greatest kick for Olivet, but again, that roll really saved them. Kalamazoo College is not starting past that 50-yard line, which is something you'd prefer kicking out of the end zone.
Of course. Of 3 and out on Kalamazoo's first offensive possession. Can't do too much of that. But it was 2 carries for the quarterback, scooping, and then just the 1 incompletion. You didn't get to look at a whole lot of the playbook. Kalamazoo with a couple of tight ends, both to the left side. Now they'll motion another one in here, 84 Johnson, so a real heavy package. Scooping, RPO, complete, Lucas Hannafin. Have I said that before?
Oh, you've said that many times this season. Great little gain. Good RPO. Quick offense for Kalamazoo. We've seen quick offense against Anderson College earlier that last home game, which has worked pretty darn well. Slowing it down here, though.
Another 2 tight ends set for them, both to that right side. Tight end and wing all that way. Plus, motion the tight end back in. Same formation, just flipped. Scoopin, forced to flush. Scoopin got a ton of room to run over there. He's got the first down plus more.
Man, nice gain by Scoopin. We've seen it all season, and it's just been dominant. You love to see it. It's a great gain, give him that first down and a little bit more. He is able to read the field like no other. Fantastic quarterback, not only throwing, but running, and just football IQ.
Yeah, guy just hasn't made mistakes yet this season. Not a single turnover. Set back up in the same formation after the shift. Another quick throw for Hannafin. I mean, if it's there and it's your 4 and your 5 yards and you nickel and dime them to death, sure.
Right, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Kalamazoo's got to keep doing what they're doing right now.
Patient as ever. And I don't think Coach Krajasic warned us enough that, hey, we're going to reach into our bag today, that we've got a really fun game plan and a lot of big bodies. Because, look, more tight ends, more wing backs, more variety than we've seen on offense this season. Motion another tight end. Keep them both into blocks. Scoopin wants to go for it. Over the shoulder for Hannafin, incomplete.
You like to see that, though, on second down and around 5 or so. Really good idea. Great to see a nice gain from Hannafin. We've seen Kalamazoo, looking at the statistics, overall they haven't been a super great red zone team, but a lot of that scoring has come off really, really big plays. And if the play wasn't necessarily a touchdown off the big play, it sets up what could be a touchdown in that red zone area.
Yeah, you're not quite there yet, nor are you quite knocking on the door. This is the 36-yard line of Olivet. The Hornets going to have a double stack here. Kyler Majorana is the back in the shotgun, flanking Dawson Scoopin. Scoopin, plenty of time, all the time in the world. A bobble, now it's caught, recovered, and a first down. The helmet comes off. It's a Warriors run for Aaron Zeckman. Gladiatorial. Do you know what I mean?
Gladiatorial is a good word. I like that. Zeckman having a great season so far. Telling me about how his first game of the season scored a touchdown against Austin in Texas. And he's excited. He's excited to be out there and be a main part of this wide receiving squad.
Scoopin, first down handoff. Kyler Majorana. Majorana might get it just to the red zone here at perhaps the 20-yard line. Dontrell Thomas on the stop for the Comets. That last reception for Zeckman put him over 250 on the season, and he's already got 3 touchdowns. Bunch out to the right. Scoopin gonna look that way. Scoopin gonna throw. Zeckman curled up. Zeckman end zone. Touchdown Kalamazoo.
Make that 4 touchdowns on the season for Zeckman. Just talking about that, you love to see that from Zeckman. Got to be hyped up. Kalamazoo right now 6-6. Got to make this field goal, extra point, excuse me, to get ahead.
And some tricky stuff shown. Arvin Krishnan, the normal holder, is under center for Kalamazoo. Krishnan, speed option, toss out for Sykes. He's in there for 2. Those tricky Hornets.
Again, we were just talking about that. Gonna do a lot of different things in this game. 8-6, fantastic.
I mean, Coach Krajasic is in his bag.
He really is.
Oh, everything is just, so it's homecoming. You got to pull out all the stops. You got to do everything a little bit bigger. What a possession.
Yeah, and for the homecoming crowd, entertainment. That was just pure entertainment on that last few plays. It's hyped up. There's a lot of people here, Tanner, I'll tell you. More people than I've seen in a little while.
Oh, yeah, we're juiced here. And it's funny, that Olivet opposing sideline is not quite as full as we've seen. I mean, even in the Anderson game with the evening and the mishaps and the weather, the delays and all this and that, you still kind of had that stay a little bit more packed. Olivet maybe not traveled quite as well, but on this Kalamazoo side, I mean, you're standing room only and then some.
Yeah, exactly. Looking great out there. Olivet hasn't had the greatest season, could be because of the show out too. I mean, but
it's
again,
probably those feed into each other a little
Right.
bit, you know. But would it be all forgiven? Should they come back in this one and take down Kalamazoo for a dozenth straight time? Leatherwood, high kickoff, nearly went through his hands at first. Leatherwood beyond the 25, and then stung out of bounds by Braden Lavis.
man, Leatherwood still had a lot of room there. Thankfully, he was able to get through and around the 26, 27-yard line.
All right. So that Kalamazoo drive ended with Dawson Scoopin to Aaron Zeckman from 21 yards out after the Hornets themselves showed a ton of variety on offense. Again, between changing up your formations and spreading the football around. Zeckman is clearly breaking out in front of our eyes and is a fantastic number 2 option. Well, Olivet's got a lot of that same kind of thing to do. They're going to start in the pistol again, 2 tight end set. Run to the right. Duggins upended him.
Nice stop there by Duggins. You know, Tanner, if we're looking back, I'm pretty sure Sykes got a sack today, and he was able to get that 2-point conversion as well.
Dude, what a career day, and it's but 5 seconds from the end of the first quarter.
Wow.
An unbelievable start.
That is wonderful start for Kalamazoo. Solid start for Olivet as well. Let's see what each team can do to kind of get rolling again. Olivet, the penalties on that last possession really stung.
All right, well, we'll flash through the stats real quickly from that first quarter. Olivet collects 6 first downs, that is, to 3 for Kalamazoo. So, of course, you've got an edge in total plays. That was 19 to 10. But Kalamazoo with the yards per play advantage, like you might imagine, 6.1 to about 4.2. A punt for each side, and both of the punts were quietly fantastic. That 146-yarder that had a whole bunch of roll from Olivet's side with Eason Hawks, and then Kalamazoo's was 56 from Carson Moe, a bomb. But both all because of that roll and those decisions that have to be made so quickly by that punt returner when that ball is on the ground rolling at him.
Yes, that's right. And looking at the rushing yards right now, Olivet almost 50 rushing yards so far in this game, really beating the averages they've had all season, just only in the first quarter. Kalamazoo's got to find a stop here. Let's see what they can do.
Charlie Grant back in the pistol. Continue to try and stretch it out right side. A cut inside. And third down upcoming.
They're running some different personnel. No more Johnson currently.
That was the junior Romel Frank who had that one. That should be, call it 5 yards.
Yeah, one of the few upperclassmen on this team getting some reps in right there.
Charlie Grant is kind of the one guy that you'd call particularly experienced. Grant pistol doubles this time. 3rd and medium. Got time again. Goes with a comeback, and it's complete. Leatherwood, first down plus a little more.
Nice catch there by Leatherwood. We saw him earlier frustrated with a drop, but again, he's been targeted quite a lot in this game. Grant has been finding him open frequently.
Make it 17.
And generally speaking, Olivet hasn't really been that bad of a passing team. They've been solid all season. Interceptions and turnovers haven't been great, but they have been able to consistently pass and be accurate here and there.
And their mix is still working. They'll motion a tight end left to right. He'll set up in the slot and swing it out for the back. There's a ton of room to be had here. Petty nipped him, but Romel Frank should have 8 yards or so.
Nice gain by Frank. Too much of an opening there.
Okay, 2nd and short. I always like to say you can take a shot here because you've got enough room to let those routes develop and things, but would you come and get on the ball and just go heavy and run this?
I would totally go heavy and just run this. Stay consistent. After the last possession, going for that passing play, didn't go too hot with a sack.
The tight end Toscano, he's going to get the ball as the last option there on the pass, and he's got a 1st down.
Yeah, again, and played it safe there. Getting that 1st down, moving the chains for Olivet.
So much RPO and screen action and quick game from Calvin's offense last week. They see, of course, you have Calvin over there with Luke Mishmerheisen, a 6'7", roughly 215 receiver. Yeah, I would throw that guy the ball too, right? Call me strange, or use him as a blocker. However, again, it's something that you pick up on film, and they say, okay, this is how we want to attack Kalamazoo.
Yes.
Johnson back in the backfield. Johnson might have just 2 yards there on that 1st down carry.
Johnson still racking up the yards over and over and over again. They keep giving it to him. We've seen Frank a couple times, but Johnson has ultimately been the main running back in this one as Frank comes back in.
Time of possession, super lopsided right now. Olivet is on almost 14 minutes. Kalamazoo, 4 minutes and 5 seconds. For a team, Olivet, that had kind of been getting swamped in their own time of possession on average. A split back look here. 2 wide to the right, 1 to the left. Grant rolls. Grant wants to take a shot. He's got a man. He dropped it in the bucket. And touchdown Comets.
Wow, what a play by Olivet. Finding the open man on a dime pass for the touchdown.
A lot of parts to that play.
Truly a lot of parts to that play.
Brashears never gave up on the route and had early separation, but the ball took a little while as Grant had to roll to his right. Then you could see as the extra point is up, coming in drilled off of that brick wall. But you could see the defensive back clearly in very much trail position, that, okay, he had a step there, and I believe that was Alex Pepin for Kalamazoo. And then the separation at the very end, that's the last gear out of, if you're working through your 1 to 5s. Not every receiver really has that. The ones that do, they make big plays like that.
Yeah, and this is one of those moments where I wish I had the replay system like Calvin University has, where we're able to see how did that receiver get wide open like that. And I think it's just a few steps ahead. So Kalamazoo got to return back with another score. Let's see if they can get that rolling off in its kickoff.
Your average every day, 13-8 score, 1 missed PAT, a holder who comes out on Kalamazoo's 2-point attempt, runs speed option, flips it to your linebacker, a football game,
Truly.
Don't worry about it.
And looking at the last game for Olivet, 11 rushing yards total. Huge difference today. Got to be happy about that if you're rooting for Olivet, one of the coaching squads.
Yeah, big difference, you could say, from last week. This kickoff to Hannafin just over his head for a touchback.
Nicely done there. Great kick, actually. You don't see that a lot in the MIAA. Very, very impressive. Kalamazoo is going to be getting this one, but around that 25-yard line. I mean, it's a touchback for it's going to be the 25-yard line.
All right. Third look at the offense. 2 drives that could not have been more different. Explosive one and a really tricky one the first time after the 3 and out on the very first possession.
And we saw a lot of that system of RPOs, nice handoffs to get some gains.
This is a handoff, although gain not so much. Connor Bell might be back to the line of scrimmage. Galaxy of Comets, my man. Again, the Honorable Judge Paul Bridenstine on our PA is one of the most valued members here up in the press box.
Yeah, he does a fantastic job, that's for sure. Helps us, even with pronunciation at times, hearing him name who got the tackles, who got the throw in.
Tight end Hayden Johnson motioning in. Run Bell to the left. Bell running behind Shemwell. Our favorite offensive lineman, can I say that?
I think you can. I really think you can. We talked about him earlier in this season, receiving the award. Tanner, remind me of that name.
The Hammer Award.
That's right.
The highest graded offensive lineman of the week.
Yeah.
That was for his performance in the home opener.
Right, and he's fantastic out there.
Scoopin on the 3rd and medium. Scoopin wants Hannafin on an out. He caught it. He skied up there and just bullies people at the point of attack.
My goodness, Hannafin walks away like that, like it was nothing. Impressive throw, impressive catch, moving the chains.
He's simply like that.
Yeah, he is. He's a dog. We talked about him before, and we're going to keep talking about him for the rest of the season.
More tight end wing. Kalamazoo with heavy bodies. Scoopin, QB counter to his left, jumped over a man, but not much to be had.
You know, and the more I think about it, we don't see Scoopin do a lot of those kind of read plays, giving the QB a designed run. A lot of the time, he just is able to run out by scrambling, not seeing an open man, and is able to make his way downfield.
Kalamazoo did get good news along their offensive line. They had a number of injuries, as offensive lines known to just be a place where you go a little bit shallower, don't have as many bodies. We'll tell you about in a moment. 2nd and 9. Sweep it out for Hannafin this time from the backfield. He's gotten involved in the run game every week. Not a bad looking sweep there, maybe 6 or 7.
Yeah, very nice gain by Hannafin there. Again, main target. Love to see it. And Zekman again, also a fantastic target as we saw in the last touchdown. 2 guys who are such dangerous people, dangerous targets.
3rd down, medium. I'll still tell you about the offensive line change when we get a moment. Our apologies. Motion to tight end in one more time. With all heavy bodies, the Hornets are leaning on the run game, and they are leaning on the Comets. It's a 1st down for Connor Bell.
Nicely done by Connor Bell after last week. He had a great performance, but overall just a couple ones that slipped away from Kalamazoo with those turnovers. Staying clean right now. Got to keep staying clean as they get past the 50-yard line.
All right, so now I'll tell you. In at left guard for Kalamazoo, C.J. Aldred had missed the beginning of the season with injury. Monster holes to fill. That is incomplete for Bell, and then he is popped. That's unfortunate.
You know,
Von Peterson.
might have been a good idea to let that ball drop through. Would have been a little bit of a loss of yardage there for Kalamazoo.
Yeah, in all likelihood, you're right. And I say a big hole to fill there at left guard. You look at C.J. Aldred, he stands 6'3", 300 pounds, and is one of those very few that coming into this season had starting experience along the offensive line. Him and Shemwell, kind of the 2 vets, and those are your 2 seniors up there at the offensive line spots for Kalamazoo at the guards. It's a 2nd down and 10 after that incomplete pass. And early movement. This, like a couple of other plays, looks like it's going to be flagged.
Calling this one off. And now we're getting a little bit of a timeout here. Going to talk it over with the squads. See what's been working. And what's been working for Kalamazoo is these nice short gains. Just moving the chains. Nothing, not like a lot of big plays generally. I mean, we saw a big play earlier with Zekman. But they're just moving the chains right now.
Even so, on that throw to Zekman, it goes 21 yards. But in the air, it's but 9 or 10 or so. It's just, I actually wanted to get to this a little bit more. The way that Zekman caught that ball and his instincts, where he settled within that zone coverage, there's nobody around. He makes it look more open because of his awareness.
Yeah, he was able to find the opening. Made it work. found the opening, got the touchdown. The intelligence of this Kalamazoo College team is huge. Skupin's so smart. Wide receivers Hannafin and Zekman are so intelligent. Here comes Skupin in the backfield.
2nd and 10. Hannafin motioned. Skupin rolls. And just kind of darts this. Maybe it could have been caught, but it's sort of chicken-footed.
Yeah, I had to play it safe there. You got 4 Olivet players, 4 comments out there. Dangerous pass either way. Let's see what Kalamazoo runs here. 3rd and 10. Long play. Going to have to be looking out as there's an open backfield for Skupin.
Yeah, we'll spread it all the way out. See if Olivet can get any pressure and take advantage of that. They're going to bring the house. It's up in the air and incomplete. Shemwell nearly got another. I mean, this guy is uncanny with the football IQ. I love it.
Yeah, we saw him earlier in the season. Always finding the ball somehow, but didn't end up working that time. Going to be 4th down for Kalamazoo. Going for the punt here. Let's see if Moat can get another nice long punt again.
Yeah, the first one was 56 yards. It's funny, you can't even get 56 here with this football being right about midfield. Another rollout punt. Should get this on the ground and should pin them just inside the 20-yard line. Call it the 18 for Olivet to start.
Yeah, not a bad punt. You saw Moat there thinking about running. I think they call that a rugby punt style, like a rugby style punt, trying to read the defense, seeing if you can get an opening. But 3rd and 10 would have been a lot to ask for. And there was the punt to put Olivet at the 18-yard line.
5 out of 10 so far for Skupin. 9 of 11 for Charlie Grant. Good number for him to start. Grant back out. He's got 3 wide receivers all to his right. They'll stay in the pistol. Grant play fakes. Grant lofts again. Got a lot of room there and got a man for another big chunk. That's Brashears.
Able to find those men down deep frequently, as we saw earlier in this game for the last touchdown. Kalamazoo, they really got to get together here, figure out how to break down this offense that's been very dominant so far, which is unlike what we've seen earlier in the season for them.
You could maybe silence some of the deep passing game with more pressure, but you got to kind of pick your shots and take them at measured times.
Yes, exactly.
Grant is going to hand off. This might be a double pass that they had drawn up. Tricky, but then Maurice will end this after just 3 or 4 yards.
Tricky indeed, and funny enough, we saw number 19, Connie Donaldson, pass the ball, practicing passing the ball early in this game. He is a backup quarterback, I believe, so wouldn't have been too surprising if he passed the ball there.
And you could still kind of go back to it, considering you didn't actually have the pass thrown there and this and that, or if not, it's just another thing to think about. 1 back, 1 tight end. Grant handing off. Jalen Johnson ran into his own lineman at first and headed backwards.
Yeah, wasn't able to find anything there. Ooh, looks like a little bit of action after the play.
Yeah, if you were watching that interaction as I was, it was the guard Marcus Davis, 55 in white for Olivet. Engaged, that's kind of a strong word even for it, with Leonard Humphreys from Kalamazoo. And Humphreys discards him, and then Davis kind of takes the seat there, takes a bit of a tumble.
Right, got his hands out, arms out, the ref, like, where's the call? But nothing there.
Yeah, well, you got to try and sell it, understandable. 3rd and medium again. Grant under fire. Grant crunched. He drilled it in, and it's going to be a touchdown for Leatherwood. Charlie Grant's got that dog in him.
Yeah, wow, what a great showing for Grant right now, the senior. One of the few seniors on this team able to find his freshman wide receiver, Leatherwood. Man, Kalamazoo just can't get any stops on those passing plays. Olivet's got to be ecstatic with this after the first few games of the season, especially the one against Adrian. But here comes the extra point. Going to allow the Comets to get up by 12 points if this goes through. and it does. Man, Tanner, what needs to change out there for the Hornets?
You've got to communicate to the nth degree, to a degree that is annoying, a degree that seems superfluous, utterly unnecessary. When there is zero doubt on anybody's mind exactly what you're in, exactly what you're playing, what's the technique, what are the checks out of it, what are we going to see from Olivet, personnel-wise and all of that, that's when you might be doing a good enough job communicating. There's guys running open here down the field in a lot of different deep passing concepts right now. Got to clean it up, and it starts with communication.
Yes, communication is key all across the board, every sport, every possession. Lack of one right there. Kalamazoo's got to regroup after this offensive possession, figure out what's going wrong. Those passing plays have been so devastating. Again, another touchback here for the Hornets.
Okay. 20-8 ball game. The response really starts now. You'll probably have at least 2 possessions before halftime, you would think, with 6 minutes and 10 seconds here. Talk to me about your play calling, because we've seen Coach Krajasik really go in the bag. Talk to me about how you might manage this drive as an OC.
Yeah, and you've got 2 possessions, and you need 2 touchdowns right here. You're going to be looking for nice deep passes, but also staying consistent, not panicking too much.
And they made the change at QB too. You brought back in Ledeen, and then he kind of puts it on the money, but it was incomplete for Moats.
And Ledeen coming in, interesting choice. He's got quite the arm on him, I will say.
Yeah, and we saw that the very first snap that he ever came in here, drilling in a 14-yard touchdown. When Skupin came out for a single play, Ledeen said, okay, so I'll take advantage of my opportunity. But we'll have to keep an eye on this development. Braden Ledeen, sling it outright short, and picks up some yardage to make it another manageable 3rd down.
Another manageable 3rd down for Kalamazoo. Still a little bit long right here. It's going to be a 3rd and 8. Ledeen's got to find that open man. Got to get a nice pass here. He's going to be wanting that pass on the first possession of this game back. But hopefully he'll make something work.
That's the 2nd catch for Landon Russell. His first was a 55-yard touchdown. This one not quite as exciting. Ledeen on the 3rd and 8. Sidestep 1. Ledeen wants to take a shot. Caught. Hannafin. A 1st down and more.
That's what you want to see. Getting that impression going for Ledeen. Olivet now knows he is a weapon at quarterback, excuse me. And that's a great gain for Kalamazoo to move those chains and then some.
As soon as you see those shoulders start pointing a little bit up higher, you got to know, hey, he's throwing this ball a little bit deeper. Kalamazoo's been mostly living in the short to intermediate. That is a strike from Ledeen. Double set. Ledeen, all the time in the world. Zekman, caught. 1st down.
Gosh, and whatever nerves you may have had as Ledeen or even as a viewer seeing a different quarterback come in, you should not be worried.
Forget about it, right?
Yes, that was a dime, and he's throwing them back and forth, taking those big risks. He's got to have a lot of confidence right now. Don't want to get too far ahead of himself, but this is a great drive so far.
You are just on the red zone right now. Ball's at the 20-yard line of Olivet. Braden Ledeen waking everybody up on this end zone. Ledeen, Zekman is being tossed around. You'd think that you're going to see, maybe they're ruling that ball's uncatchable.
I don't know. That was pretty handsy on Olivet's side and a little bit on Kalamazoo's as well, but nothing called there. Going to be 2nd and 10. Good to see another shot down deep from Ledeen.
Yeah, so they did exactly what you wanted. When I asked you, hey, how should you manage this drive and what's your play calling look like? Ledeen gunslinging early on. A cluster, 3 wide receivers out to the left. Zekman the solo to the right. Russell in the backfield. Ledeen holding it again, slings it a little behind the receiver. Careful. Incomplete for Moats.
A little bit scary, but now I'm starting to understand why they brought Ledeen in. Super accurate on the passing game. I mean, Skupin is as well, but Ledeen seems to take a lot more risk, and that's what they need in this 2nd quarter right before the half to get a touchdown and cut the deficit down.
I still wonder if it was a decision made to just jumpstart the offense, or if there's anything going on with Scoopin. We'll try and figure that out. Ledeen making a motion here, maybe changing the play at the line. 3rd and 10. Ledeen might take off. Still got his eyes downfield. Ledeen sniped him. Hannafin. No, he did not! Touchdown! There's grown men that just can't do that.
I don't know what I just saw, Tanner. Ledeen comes out there doing a, 80-yard drive, gives it to Hannafin, spin move, able to make it work. My goodness, Tanner. That was incredible.
Brother, what? One of the best individual efforts this place has ever seen. And how this, that, and the other thing, what can I say?
Speechless, Tanner. Speechless for everyone in the audience, just yelling and screaming and shouting because they're happy with what they saw. Again, entertainment. We talked about this earlier. This game has been pure entertainment for Kalamazoo's offense. Now we need to have that pure entertainment for Kalamazoo's defense if they want to get that stop and get another possession for another touchdown.
Oh, I catch my breath. I recenter. I take, the deep breaths, something, I don't know, vinyasa, whatever, yoga, something here. Football game. 4 minutes, 3 seconds until the half. 20-15. Again, your very normal, average, everyday football scores. And kickoff coming from Eddie Langton.
And this is what we see at a MIAA. High-scoring games, high-scoring halves. You're going to have to keep up with the points over and over again. But Kalamazoo's got to make the stop on this defensive possession. Hopefully that momentum from offense can move into the defense here for them.
Langton, kick bounds at about the 10. Tough decision from Leatherwood to pick it up. Leatherwood wanted to split it down that right sideline. He's still in bounds. He might pay a price for this. There's a monster pileup, and then, like you might imagine, a little bit of a scrap. I think it's Rommel Frank who is being restrained. Well, in fact, then they kind of separated out that pile pretty well.
Yeah, it looked like there wasn't too much of bad blood going on. Helping each other up, actually, at the end there. Just interesting, Leatherwood trying to stay in. Got swarmed and swamped. Might have a couple scratches after that one.
Yeah, it's the price that you're paying if you decide to. Again, when people get to fly down there on kickoff coverage, yeah, somebody's going to take a shot. Shotgun this time. It's been mostly pistol. Running back set off to the right. Charlie Grant looking out to his left. He's got the tight end short. And some good run after the catch might get them another first down. Pass complete for Toscano again.
Yeah, that was a nice gain there. More of what we've seen earlier from Olivet is these nice short passes for screens or just giving them an opportunity to gain a lot of yards to get the first down. The running game has ultimately stopped in these last few possessions just because of how successful the passing game has been.
Second and real short, so unsurprisingly, they'll go on the ground this time. I believe that is Rommel Frank to get that first.
Kalamazoo, good stop there.
So that very first carry for Jalen Johnson went for 19. Everything else beyond that point, you're talking 17, I believe, additional carries for, but 42, 43 yards?
Yeah, that sounds about right. And I'm looking at the statistics here, trying to figure out.
Grant does have Toscano again, the tight end. Petty could not prevent another first down.
Right, and as I was saying, trying to figure out who's been showing up a lot more in this game than we've seen in the past, because there have been a lot of things working for Olivet that we haven't seen earlier. I mean, with over 60 rushing yards so far in this first half, that is completely different from every single game they've played so far. Granted, those teams were a little bit better than Kalamazoo, but overall, what has changed? Who has changed? And I think simply the quarterback, Charlie Grant, coming in has made the big difference for Olivet today.
I do want to go back as we get the timeout here at the 2 minutes. I want to go back to that throw that Charlie Grant made for the touchdown last time. He is going to get blasted, spit roasted, and he hangs in and throws one of the best balls that we've seen here. And Kalamazoo's got a great quarterback too, who can absolutely thread it and who can take those big hits himself. But Grant to Leatherwood from 39, that's an unbelievable throw considering he knew he was going to get stuck.
Yeah, exactly, and that's, I think, Leatherwood's maybe third touchdown on the season as a freshman. Hasn't been the most targeted receiver, but if you're open at the end of the day. And it's worked for Grant, finding those open receivers, no matter who they are.
When we come out of this 2-minute timeout, Olivet has the ball on, we'll call it the 48. So, just before midfield. You've got the timeouts. You've got plenty of fields. You could sneak in a run play or two for what it's worth.
You could, and I mean, you have a little bit of a lead. You're not going to be receiving the ball in the second half, granted, but trying to kind of waste that time, but also make a lot of pace on the field. Try to speed it up a little bit, slow it down, change it up for Kalamazoo.
Grant back in the pistol this time. He's got time. He's taking a shot once again for Leatherwood. He is strapped.
Good defensive change there from Kalamazoo, keeping their eye down deep. Something they didn't expect coming into this game. Going to be 2nd and 10, and that stops the clock as well. 1:56 if Kalamazoo wants to get that possession again. Going to have to make a stop on this set of downs.
A really big PBU for Ronnie Spencer, the junior out of Waverly, Lansing area. Make it a 2nd and 10. Grant this time will throw much quicker up the seam, and this might split too. Brashears, a touchdown from 52.
Brashears getting the touchdown there brings the lead to 26 to 15. Another deep pass from Grant. He has been the difference maker, finding those open receivers. The opening right in the center field, which we've seen a couple times in this game.
Yeah, maybe a few too many times.
Right. A few too many times, but Kalamazoo's going to get the ball back after this field goal.
Angel Potter doinked another one. Well, and then I love the idea here of, oh, it comes off the upright. Let's just field this thing like a live ball. Don't think it works that way, but that's a fun thought.
No, that would be a fun little thing. You don't see that happen too often.
So if you did that, here's a more, thought experiment to it. Do you let anybody have it, or do you only let the defending team, that is the team with the PAT block unit out there, field it and give them the chance to run that back for 2?
I like the way you're thinking, Tanner.
I feel like you might want to give the kicking team also the chance to, if they're able to catch this thing, advance it into the end zone. But then does that become a 2-point score or a 1-point score? I don't know. What would you do?
Tanner, they got to get us in the room where they're making all these NCAA rules.
Sold.
Yes, because we've got some ideas right now, and I think this could be something you don't see too often, but be pretty cool to have another second chance if the ball does go off the goalpost.
With you. Kickoff coming. Potter got all of this one. Hannafin will watch it fly. Touchback.
Third touchback of the game. Getting a little scrappy midfield. Kalamazoo's probably a little upset after the last few possessions. Are they going to bring Ladine back out?
Right. We're looking at the huddle, and yes, they are.
All right, Ladine is back out there. He's had quite the arm this game, finding the open receivers. He's been a sniper, essentially.
That drive was ridiculous, frankly. 7 plays, 75 yards. Like, it's the hot knife and the butter.
Truly.
3 wide, 1 tight end off the ball to the right. Motion Bell out to empty. And go middle screen for the tight end, Jaden Johnson. Johnson's been stood up for quite a while. There's no whistle to be had here. That took quite a while.
Yeah, that did. That was way too long of a play for how much of a time crunch they are in. Time's going to keep running off the clock to get to 1:30 here. Still a little bit of time to get the ball down the field.
He was stood up there by Corey Cheatham. I was concerned because Cheatham goes 6'4", 340. Ledeen wants to rip another. He pulled it down, and it's probably a rush. Now let's see. They might award a sack.
I'm not too sure. They might award a sack there, but he did seem to be scrambling out of the pocket.
He tucked it, but you've got to have a consideration of, okay, where was the line of scrimmage?
Yeah.
And he certainly hadn't passed that. We know that much.
Now we're looking at stopping the play. I think Kalamazoo's calling the timeout. Just over a minute here left in this half. Ledeen hasn't been able to find any receivers. Seen him try to scramble in those last 2 plays, just nothing working.
Okay, other side, Charlie Grant, 14 of 17, 245, 3 touchdowns.
Oh my.
Whoa.
Yeah. That is a number for Olivet you would really like to see. On the season total, that is a huge number compared to all their averages in passing. Grant with 3 touchdowns, again, something you haven't seen out of him. We've seen him only play 2 games, getting a lot less reps, but now we know why he is out there. He is able to find those wide receivers, put the ball on a dime, and gosh, it's been a great showing for Olivet so far.
Kalamazoo continuing to rotate bodies at left guard. Again, we mentioned C.J. Aldred. They got him back in this one, the senior left guard. He's been out. Alex Russell, as well as Sam Reynolds at that left guard spot. And I think now you've got a false start. It might be on Reynolds at left guard. Let's find out.
Let's see what's going on here. False start. Yeah, you're correct. And Kalamazoo will be moving back here. That's not what you want to see on that 3rd down. Big possession. But again, still a chance. Always a chance to be able to possibly get that 1st down and move along here. But believe timeout on the play, if I'm correct.
Yeah, timeout signaled. And now it's Olivet defensively taking it. Okay, that's another angle that we hadn't considered. 56 seconds isn't a ton of time, but if you force a short punt, or any punt at all, and you get pressure on it and get a block or something like that, well then, yeah, you've got a fantastic scoring chance.
Right, and I like that timeout for Olivet. Talking it over, seeing what they can do to really make a stop here. If you make that stop, you're going to have a great chance at maybe scoring again before the end of this half. Kalamazoo, they do have the advantage coming back in, receiving the ball after this half, so a score here would be pivotal. Let's see what Kalamazoo runs on this 3rd and long with a minute left to go.
I'm still scoping out the sideline and the trainer's table and this and that, and I haven't seen Dawson Scoopin yet. I got to continue to look for him. Even in that offensive huddle, I couldn't quite find him yet.
Yeah, I think you're right. I do not see him either.
Lot to think about. Ledeen has a 3rd and long to start writing chapters in his book. Ledeen, he's thrown everybody off. Now he is sacked. Carlton Freeman, a Kalamazoo native. Now that hurts.
Yeah, that does hurt. And that's what they were talking about in that timeout. Talking about how are we going to stop this possession? How are we going to get the ball back and maybe score another touchdown? It worked out ultimately for Olivet. Kalamazoo, nothing going there.
Okay, so the punt's going to be coming with a 4th and roughly a Walmart parking lot or so. Yeah, maybe, depending on where this return goes. You're looking at 35 to 40 seconds left on the clock. You're going to have, I believe, 1 timeout left we're showing on their side. And you've already thrown for 245 and 3 touchdowns.
Yeah.
It's a really good situation to be in. Even if this doesn't result in points, it still looks like they're going to go into the break up 2 scores.
And coming into this game, Charlie Grant on the season total has had 230 yards. This game, he's already beaten that in just the first half alone. It's what you want to see as an offensive coordinator, offensive coach. 3 touchdowns as well coming into this game. All of them, again, in that first half.
Yeah, he's had a season's worth, that is, of production in a half.
Truly.
But Scoopin also did that, in all fairness, in the home opener. But we'll tell you more about that when it seems prudent. First, Kalamazoo has got to get this punt off out of their end zone and try and flip some field. It's a back wall punt. You have 3 backs to protect. The punter's Carson Moat. Moat got it off on the ground. Kulikowskis, the long snapper, down there. And now Brandon Speed will down this eventually. Great job fundamentally to let that clock tick.
Yes, that was very smart. Not even just grabbing it right before you know it's going to stop. It's going to be 36 seconds going in for this final possession of the half for Olivet around the 44-yard line. They need something here if they really want to score. And curious what we're going to see. That passing game has been so dominant. Kalamazoo's really got to make a stop. Here comes the snap.
Grant is going to just check this down for Jalen Johnson, the back. Duggins bumps him out of bounds. That did take about 7 seconds off the clock.
Yep, and just a nice easy pass for Grant there. You don't want to take too many risks, of course, but again, doing a system, trying to keep the stop, trying to make the clock stop and give yourself multiple chances to get into the end zone before it ends.
Olivet attempted exactly 2 field goals last year. Both were freshman Camden Babcock. Went 1 of 2 on those. Not a team that wants to kick a whole lot of field goals, but will they if they get in range? Quick out here, complete for Shears. Flag is down. Let's sort that out. Defensive penalty, and you might be real near field goal range. Offensive penalty? Not at all. It'd be a lot more difficult.
Yeah, that'd be a difficult one. Let's see what they call here. I'm not too sure what I saw. And they're taking their time, of course, discussing it over. Looks like it's going to be a false start on Olivet. So moving themselves back here. Going to be second and a little bit longer than before, about 8 yards.
If you had to take a guess without looking, Quentin, what team Olivet scored the most points against last year? What do you think it was?
I gotta say it might have been Kalamazoo.
Indeed it was. 45 points in this matchup last year. Grant gonna be flushed. Again, got the back. Johnson bobbled it a couple of times, then brought it in and is out of bounds.
And that's a nice gain, keeping, staying safe. I'm looking out there, though. I saw so many whites that were open right there. The Comets, all their wide receivers on different routes and finding themselves open. Charlie Grant just staying safe there as the pressure was on.
Just 18 seconds, so you don't have a ton of time to dance around back there. Hornets only rushing a couple, plus they drop a spy. Grant might go. Janning going to pull him up. Grant let that go real late and just threw it out of bounds.
That's going to be 4th down now with 11 seconds on the clock. Do you go for it here? Do you just punt it away? What do you do?
I have seen too much of Hannafin and Zekman making absurd, ridiculous plays to be willing to give them any kind of chance. I would punt this and hope the entire 11 seconds run off, so maybe you even want a little bit more hang time here from your punter than you would normally ask, even with Easton Hawks back there. He's a guy that I've actually got to watch in high school from Battle Creek Lakeview.
Nice. I like that call. I think Kalamazoo can be so dangerous on the offensive end. And yeah, he's going to keep that one up there for a real long time.
Hit it way high. That was a bombshell punt. It leaves 6 seconds.
All right, are we seeing a Hail Mary here? Are we going deep, or are we just letting that time run out to go into the second half?
I expect, as Ladine does come back out there, I was going to say if it were scooping, then maybe I would change my thought on this a little bit, but I expect Ladine to take the knee here and make sure that you can't make any mistakes. I've been super, super wrong before. I like to think I know sometimes, but it doesn't look like they're showing that they're going to take a knee. Okay, they're normal offensive set. You got one tight end, and you got 3 wide, 2 of them to the right. Hannafin in the slot over there. They will run the ball, just go power. Connor Bell, a couple of yards to take us to the half.
Yeah, no knee there, but again, just taking the time off the clock to get in the second half. Kalamazoo, they've got a little bit to talk over on the defensive end, that's for sure. Olivet has been dominating the offense today, passing like no other, rushing like they have never done before. Over 250 receiving yards on the day for Olivet, and over 60 rushing yards, which is a number they've never seen in the first half before. And Kalamazoo, they haven't done too bad. They've had some great offensive possessions, but just nothing has been able to work. Ladine's come in as quarterback in the second quarter. He's shown signs of greatness, though, I will say.
Yeah, can absolutely rip this football. That's what everybody said from the moment that this guy, Braden Ladine, was getting recruited. They said, hey, this guy's got a monster arm, and at some point we think he's going to be the starter. But we always knew that Dawson Scoopin was waiting in the wings with a 5-year starter, Josh Nichols, that Scoopin was playing behind, and anytime he would get into the ball game was very effective. Now we're going to have to wait and see just what happens with Scoopin, if he does come back at all, if he's even now in a rotation, a 2-quarterback system. Yes, I think you said it best. A lot to think about.
A lot to think about indeed. Where is Scoopin? We don't know. Will he be back out there? Unsure. A lot of uncertainties right now. A lot to think about for Kalamazoo College. Olivet, got to keep it rolling.
Hornets with their backs against the wall a little bit here on homecoming. A winless Olivet team playing absolutely inspired behind Charlie Grant in his 3 touchdown passes in that first half. Any other words before we step out for halftime?
None for me, Tanner.
All right. So I'm Tanner White, he's Quentin Powers, and this is Kalamazoo's homecoming game against the University of Olivet. When we come back for the second half, it'll be a 26-15 Olivet lead. Kalamazoo will get the ball coming out of the half. We thank you once again for joining us.
Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics. Thank you for listening to the internet broadcast of Kalamazoo College Athletics. Today's game is starting in just a few minutes, and pregame coverage will start in just a moment. Thank you for listening to Kalamazoo College Athletics.
And that is halftime. It's just about time for half number 2. It's the Kalamazoo Hornets and the University of Olivet Comets. 26-15 Olivet lead. The first half belonged to Charlie Grant. The senior quarterback for the Comets throws 16 of 20, 254 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kalamazoo saw Dawson Scoopin, their all-everything quarterback, exit that game in the first half. Braden Ledeen comes on in relief, goes 5 out of 8, throwing for 79 and a touchdown. But there's just so much to this offense that becomes kind of a question mark without Scoopin there. Tanner White, Quentin Powers, man, what a first half.
Yeah, it was a crazy first half. Essentially, Olivet started out a little bit slow, focusing on the running game, which is something we haven't seen a lot throughout the season, and then slowly switching it to focusing on Charlie Grant's throwing ability. He has thrown a lot of bombs this game. It's really worked out for Olivet. Kalamazoo hasn't been able to get any stops. The offensive possessions have been slower, a lot slower paced, until Ledeen got out there and started dominating those throws, throwing darts. It was incredible for what we saw. Kalamazoo's probably going to have him starting again at quarterback. Hopefully we see more of what we saw out of him in that first half.
And we are just about to kick off for half number 2. We told you before this one started that Kalamazoo won the coin toss and elected to defer to the second half, so they do get to come out with the ball, trailing though by 11, 26-15. We did have some other Kalamazoo sports news. Do you want to tell us about volleyball?
Yeah, we're looking at volleyball right now. Kalamazoo College also played Olivet in volleyball. Kalamazoo College coming into this one 8-10, 0-2 in the MIAA. Olivet coming in, 0-1, in the MIAA. Olivet coming in 1-0 in the MIAA, and it was a close matchup, but generally Kalamazoo College could just not pull through. Olivet gets the win today. I don't know what I'm looking at right here, Tanner. Is there anything you want to point out?
Yeah, I do want to highlight Kalamazoo senior Tatum Casper. Among all of their hitters, has been one of the standouts, and among the outsides has been one of the most important. And 12 kills for her on 38 swings. That's a 237. But, yeah, in 4 sets, you lose that. You pick up just that first set there, 25-22. Kalamazoo would win the first, and then 25-22, 25-15, and 25-22 again for Olivet to polish that off. The 3-1 win there from Cutler Event Center in Olivet. That's all for volleyball, and this is one more half for football's homecoming game. The Kalamazoo Hornets and the Olivet Comets. What did we say at the top? Even if you are not ready for the day, it cannot always be night. Shorter kickoff this time. It's going to be taken by the up back. Here's Corey Garrison. Garrison picking his way. Garrison, a filthy spin. He's out near the 40. Hello.
Hey, those are some nice moves. I mean, he's certainly not as quick as Hannafin, but he's able to really get through that crowd, get a great starting point for Kalamazoo College.
But look, we've already seen Sykes, the linebacker, score on a speed option on a 2-point conversion from the holder Aravind Krishnan. Like, if you're going to go deep in the bag and get other guys carries and maybe, Hannafin has a couple of pass attempts before they maybe let him do something, I don't know.
Right,
something tricky.
It was very impressive for Sykes today.
Braden Ledeen looking out to the solo receiver, Carson Moe. They'll start with a toss into the bunch side. Connor Bell. Bell dove his way, might have 5 or so on that first down.
Full head of steam there from Bell. Good little gain to start out this second half. Haven't seen Ledeen really hand off the ball at all in that first half, just simply because they had to get something going on offense, get a touchdown to cut the deficit down. Down by 11 right now. Will Ledeen look deep again? Do you think that's just kind of his play style?
Everybody told us the moment this kid stepped foot on campus, and even before that in recruiting, they said this Braden Ledeen has a monstrous arm. a howitzer strapped to his right shoulder, you might have to let him air that out. And look at it, too, because you're coming out empty right here.
That's right. Let's see what he does here. Going long, going short, hopefully a completion for Kalamazoo to get the offense rolling early on in the second half.
Motion Hannafin in, he becomes the inside receiver, complete to him, first down plus more, and Ladine hung in there with contact.
Nicely done by Ladine. Kind of looked like he side-armed it as he was being pressured. Way to find Hannafin, get the gain, move the chains.
Give him your best Matthew Stafford. The low three-quarter arm slot, you know what I mean? Patented. So they'll just stick empty, go 4x1 to the left this time. They keep Bell in to protect. Ladine, wide open. Hannafin, first down, stiff arm, a bully. He's taking people's lunch money.
Gosh, again, Hannafin open, Ladine finding him.
They're just so on the same page. It's football, poetry, in motion. Back on the ball. Hurry up. Counter Bell. Monster jump cut to try and get loose. Okay, red zone possession. The offense is cooking.
Yeah, and this is a great start to the second half. Bell with a lot of patience on that last play. We've seen that in every single game. He takes his time to find those yards. He doesn't need to be explosive all the time, and that was a fantastic showing of that.
Sophomore tackle Mario Pomorski just checked out. Freshman left tackle Max Berg is in. Ladine, after a play fake, he wants to throw back. Bell, wide open, touchdown, Kalamazoo. They're playing mind games.
Ladine's got eyes everywhere. Oh my goodness, that's something you love to see. Earlier in this game, we saw Ladine run to that right side, try to find Hannafin deep. Gosh, call him Robin Hood. He's hitting every single shot and making it work.
And now there's a lot of coming in and out here and bodies going everywhere. Do you wonder, did they end up with 11? Aldred from the guard spot. They're showing as if they want to go for this. There's a lot of moving parts to this. All right.
I like that they're going for this with the momentum they've had so far.
It's Bell at first. Now the flip. Hannafin wants to throw. Philly special. Caught by Ladine, the quarterback. Plus a flag.
Oh my goodness. Too much talking on that Olivet side. Ladine just stands there making a statement. That's all you need for the celebration on that one. Cutting it down to 3 right there. Gosh.
Is this not one of the best play-called offensive football games you've ever seen?
Tanner, we've been talking about it the whole game. Entertainment. It's been like watching a movie. Frankly, these are things you don't see often on the football field. We didn't see it a whole lot in Kalamazoo's first few weeks. Not too many trick plays. But having Ladine catch the touchdown, gosh, that's so fun.
Look, I need to interview Coach John Kurjasic again. I've been trying to tell you guys, that's Kalamazoo's offensive coordinator. He's just upstairs from us. I mean, directly up, if we could just vault through this ceiling. And he is winning the mental game like you've hardly ever seen here in Kalamazoo. It's unreal.
He's really just toying with that defense at times. Crazy play calls that have been working so far. You just love to see it.
The 50-50 raffle being announced right here on the PA. And that 15-yard penalty makes this a real good chance. Now, sometimes you want to just crush this thing for the end zone for a touchback, but sometimes you want to try and hit it real short, close to the goal line. Let's find out. Langton, the kicker. Okay, so the former crushes this thing almost through the uprights.
That's right. He just does that to put them at the 25-yard line. Olivet's explosive offense comes back onto the field. Kalamazoo, they need to make those changes. They need to stop those passing plays. At first, I was concerned about the rush. And then we started seeing Charlie Grant throw the football. It's just been incredible.
Back and forth, and back we go. The Olivet Comets with their first offensive possession here of the second half. 13:07, so the Hornets only took a minute 53 to put that touchdown up. Grant out of the pistol, bobbled the snap at first. Now he's got to improvise. Somehow still hands this thing. Oh, no, he kept it himself. That just, that didn't look right from the beginning.
No, he lost it there. I think he panicked a tiny bit. Small gain on the play. Going to be second and long. Actually, looks to be Oh, yeah, still going to be 2nd and 9 here.
You also want to look maybe at the center, 72, Justin Kephart in there, and see, okay, does that get in his head at all? With a fully shotgun team, except for the one I-form snap where they scored on the goal line rush for their first touchdown. Set up 3-by-1. They're going to complete again for the tight end, Toscana. Slaps one off and swarms.
Hornets swarmed there. Nicely done by Grant to find the open man. We've seen that play a couple times. Tight end number 89.
You got Toscano.
Yeah, Toscano seemed a little upset after that play. Felt like he got a little too swarmed. Some late hits he kind of assumed. But nothing there. Again, going to be 3rd and 5.
Comets now have a tight stack to the right this time. That's the short side. And they've got 2 wider split. And movement. Back it up.
Man, I was thinking, I was back out in the lobby talking to some friends. I see Thomas Shemwell, younger brother, and I talked to him real quick. I'm like, hey, man, how's it going? He's like, hasn't been the greatest game so far. You know how it is. He walks up to the offensive coordinator, and I thought morale was going to be low.
You thought.
But frankly, it has not been low at all. They're coming out there boistering with noise and power on the defensive end and offensive end.
Hornets bring 4. Grant's got plenty of time. Dropped! Oh, there's so much room to run. That's a gift.
Man, I mean, that's just what you want to see. Just stopping the play right then and there. Great defense, swarming the quarterback. Boistering, as I said before, boistering offense and defense to come out and make a statement in this second half.
Brashear's 2, 4 catches for 133 and 2 touchdowns. He catches that thing with a full head of steam. There's a lot of yardage to be had. And another flag should probably back this up further.
Calling this play off. Not too sure what happened. I've seen a lot of false starts just in general from both teams. And yes, another false start is going to be called on Olivet, moving back even further from before. Gives Kalamazoo College a better chance at better field position.
Yeah, you're not going to have Hannafin quite at midfield, but look, nearly at his own 40-yard line. You'll probably end up seeing him get into the camera picture. Double open punt look, back wall. Another spiral kick. Now it goes nose down. And this bounces the wrong way for Olivet. Good field position.
Solid field position at the 42 for Kalamazoo College. A great defensive possession that hopefully leads into good offense for Kalamazoo. Tanner, this has been a really great game. Very close, lots of offense. I'm loving what I'm seeing.
You think? You think this is a pretty good football game? Folks, if you have stepped away for a moment in this game, you're going to miss some dramatic beat, some dramatic change to the storyline. You can almost guarantee that's just going to be how it is the rest of the way. 11 minutes, 16 seconds. Kalamazoo, a big shift. Motion into a real tight bunch to the left. And they'll toss that way again. Majorana, a filthy juke. And made something out of not a whole lot. They love Kyler Majorana. This guy looks just so good here spelling Connor Bell.
Yeah, they do. And Majorana is a solid running back. Rotating him and Bell is a really smart idea. Both of them are super smart, taking their time, reading the defense. That's usually what they're taught, of course. But again, nice gain there.
And another shift. Mind game still in full effect. Bunch is out to the right this time. Ledeen looks that way. Had Hannafin short, didn't take it. Ledeen flushing, crunched, and incomplete for Moat with some real tight coverage from Aaron McCray.
God, look at that. It's like it's not even like a game is going on when he's pointing at his wide receivers to go somewhere else, trying to find an open man, make a play out of anything. Ledeen showing some leadership already, even coming in as the backup quarterback.
Dawson scooping, we speculate, going to be down for the rest of this one. Believe we had somebody that said they saw him in street clothes after the half, after the dreaded visit with the trainer Kathleen White. Third down, medium. Ledeen Had Sekman through the hands, and the Hornets will likely have to punt.
I mean, that's a great throw, a good look. Just dropped it. Zekman obviously upset with himself. Gonna have to shake that one off, move on to the defensive possession here, give himself some time to think about it.
That was exactly what happened, too, in fairness, with Olivet's first possession of this half, where Brashears had that same kind of thing. Very catchable ball, and they'll tell you they should have caught it. Now you got to just put it out of mind. Carson Moat back out to punt. Our punters have been fabulous so far today. Olivet showing 7 rushers and 3 at about linebacker depth. The snap gets away. Moat is stung, and it's a monster field flip.
Oh, man, I mean, that's just really unfortunate. A small mistake on the snap leads to a big, big change in the pace of the game. Olivet's going to be pumped up on this offensive end. Kalamazoo, don't lose that momentum. You can't lose that confidence if you're coming in on the defensive end. You got to treat it like anything else and put that power forward.
Becomes a huge stop to get. 91, Ron Lawrence, is in at Kalamazoo's right defensive end spot right now. And on the left, I believe it's freshman Aiden Rocha. Rocha got his first collegiate start against Austin on the road. Johnson went to hand that off, and then that may have been another pass attempt coming from Kanye Donaldson. Thoughts?
Yeah, we've seen it before. I mentioned it earlier. Donaldson is a backup quarterback who's able to make something work, but this is one of the many false starts we've seen from Olivet, moving them back once again, calling that play off.
Yeah, it's the last thing that they needed right now in a 3-point ball game to start thinking, are we out of field goal range? Are we going to have to go for this on a 4th down? Now, this is still just the first down snap, right? Of course, you repeat the first down after the 5-yard penalty. But ball on the 30, there is no guarantee of points here.
No, there really isn't.
3 wide, out to the right. Now they'll motion 1 to the left. Charlie Grant to throw. Quick hook, and doinked.
Yeah, it looks like it just got too far into his chest and bounces right back out for number 82, Rashawn Mercier. I mean, we've seen him a lot in this game and a lot throughout the season as well. One of the highly targeted wide receivers for all of that. Kind of unusual, but he wasn't too upset with himself. Didn't beat himself down all too much out there.
Mercier was the leading receiver coming in, to your point. 24 catches for 320 yards at over 13.3 a clip. Backed up, 2nd and 15. Charlie Grant hanging tall. Grant through the comeback and ripped out of there. Another strap from Ronnie Spencer.
Yeah, and Olivet came into this offensive possession with a lot of hope. Coming in with a really, really tough play, a trick play if that, trying to get the offensive started, and now taking that penalty really, really puts a lack of confidence and lack of pace as well.
Yeah, the false start was so impactful to this drive. You think, okay, 1st and 10 and 1st and 15, it's not that big of a difference. Maybe it is. Kalamazoo can maybe even think bringing more pressure here and take them way out of field goal range. On the 3rd and 15, Hornets bring an extra rusher. Grant steps up. He might have room to run. Cardis to try and chase him down. He slides. He's short. Ooh. But you could go for this on the 4th down.
You could go for this on the 4th down. We saw earlier in this game they were able to convert on that 4th down conversion. They've got around a 35% conversion rate on that 4th down percentage, which is pretty solid considering. And yeah, they're going to go for it here.
It's probably the right call, the way you've struggled in the kicking game for a number of years here. 4th and short. Grant standing tall, had the back at first, now gonna flush. Grant over the middle, it's caught. The tight end, Toscano. Touchdown Comets. 4th down magic.
And when you're that close to the end zone, you tell your team, we got to score here, no matter what. They were able to make it work there on that 4th down possession. Grant moving outward, trying to find his wide receivers, his tight end right there to get the touchdown and put this game at 32-23.
Just can't ask guys to cover for quite that long. Now, it's funny. They came out here showing that regular offense that, hey, we're going to go for 2 here. And that forces a Kalamazoo timeout defensively, which at some point you're probably going to want for your offense.
Right, exactly. In a game that's been pretty decently close throughout, you really want to save those timeouts for later in the game. Tanner, I also just want to point out, Olivet has over 7 penalties so far. That's caused them 43 yards lost, and they've still been able to make it work on that offensive end. I mean, we saw it just then, moving back a ton of yards on that 3rd and 4th down conversions. I mean, it's just something you can't ignore that they're able to really make work. And Kalamazoo, what's going on? You got to get a stop right then and there.
I think it still probably comes down to generating pressure. It's a Hornet team that had 13 sacks through your first 4 weeks. That's a number that you can live with. It's a number that you can win with. And haven't created quite that same pressure yet. You have Zach Sykes with the 1 sack today for Kalamazoo. And on the big 3rd and 4th downs, that's where you've seen Grant have a fair amount of time to make something happen. So they will break the huddle, and they're going to go for 2 here to try and put it up to an 11-point game. It's 2 possessions regardless, but trying to determine how those 2 scores might have to be had. And I think you've got a flinch and a false start. Looks like it's Leatherwood at receiver.
Man, again, another penalty, making 8 on the day. And they're going to bring out the punt squad now. Sorry, not the punt squad. The extra point unit. Too much to gain there to get a 2-point conversion.
Especially, I think, if you had a run play in mind. You know, from that 2-yard line, sure, you think, okay, any good football team should be able to get 2 yards on any kind of rushing down. But yes, likely the right decision here. PAT coming, Angel Potter. And this one is good. You had a couple that were missed from Potter, and that makes this, as it were, it changes the scoring around that you need a little bit. Let's say you add those 2 extra points on, and it goes from a 10-point to a 12-point ball game. Well, then you, even if, let's say, Kalamazoo scores the touchdown and gets the 2-point conversion, then a field goal can't come back and tie it. You're still going to miss those 2 points on the Olivet side at some point, likely.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, 10-point game right now, that's going to be able to make it a 2-possession game for Kalamazoo. Adding those extra points on makes it a lot more difficult for Kalamazoo to get the lead. But, again, they were still able to convert on a nice touchdown for Olivet. An offense that has been so powerful, something we actually didn't expect to see a lot of this game. Got to be happy if you're an Olivet fan to see this.
Kickoff coming for Potter. Hannafin, the right returner for Kalamazoo. He'll field this. Pick up the block from the off returner, Russell. Hannafin, he makes magic on this. Reigning MIAA Special Teams Player of the Week. What else is new?
Some good field position for Kalamazoo. Hannafin able to make his way through that defense, cutting it up close to that sideline too, able to not get out of bounds by a push. Well done by Hannafin's going to catch his breath here, but he stays out on the field. Again, one of the biggest presence on the offensive end for Kalamazoo.
You say just the offense. It is stunning how much this guy affects a football game everywhere. Hornets start 3-by-1. Tight end off the ball to the left. Run that way. Russell got loose. He's real close to that first down. Nice looking carry for Landon Russell on the first.
Nice, yeah. Landon Russell, we don't see as much of him as the other running backs, but that was a great gain to give them 2nd and 1 right here. He's going to stay in.
Russell had just 75 yards on the season coming in. A 2nd and very short, bunch out to the right. Ledeen put it on the deck and then just has to abort this play. Oh my. A mild arrhythmia for all of us around here as that football is on the ground.
Yeah, and that's the 2nd time we've seen the ball loose in the last, 4 offensive possessions and, plays for Kalamazoo. Not something you like to see. Going to make it a little bit more difficult on this 3rd and 4 to 5 yards. Russell is going to move out of that backfield.
Yeah, they will go empty again. Ledeen going to have to hang in there. 3-by-2. The 3 receivers are to the right. Ledeen rips the 4-seam fastball. It's caught from Moats. Rather Zekman.
And just when you get nervous, Ledeen has been able to pull through and figure something out. Well done by Ledeen. They're going to do a little bit of a hurry-up offense here. He snaps it quick, gives it to Russell.
And that was immediate pressure. How often do I say that that kills offenses, especially when it happens in the interior with down linemen?
Yeah, and to add on to that, they moved really, really quick into that offense, expecting the defense to be caught off guard, and just didn't work out for them.
No such luck that time. 3-by-1 to the wide side of the field to the left. That's where Ledeen looks first. And now goes screen, complete, Russell. Russell been deadly after the catch this season. Russell, stiff arm. Russell down that right sideline, another juke. The full spin cycle in the washer.
Gosh, who is this guy? We do not see enough of Russell out on the football field. He's exhausted. Give him a break because that was quite the showing.
You always love to reward a guy who made such a ridiculous play as that with a touchdown, but yeah, he's going to need a little blow here and go get Majorana because of the absurdity of all those moves. Ledeen, couple of claps on that hard count. Now we'll look over to the sideline, get another play call in there. You can identify those QBs who are on the sideline bringing those play calls in. You'll have one with a teal hat, one with a headset. Ledeen. They'll run. Majorana pushing his way. Bunch of big uglies are moving this pile.
Way to push him forward through that. Having a strong offensive line really gives you the advantage on plays like that. Get the extra yards that you're going to need and look back at the end of the game.
Strong is awesome. Size is awesome. Nasty. That's kind of the one word that people attribute most to the top offensive lineman. You got to have that nasty streak to you to just want to bury somebody. 2nd and 6. Majorana again, jump cut. Majorana fighting, goal line. That's where he'll be, 1, maybe 2 yard line.
He's close there. And that's going to be 1st and goal for Kalamazoo, giving them a lot of opportunities. Really close to the goal. Again, moving fast.
Yeah, they're right back on the ball. Majorana, one more time for pay dirt. Wait for it. You're going to have to do it at least one more time. Watch out. Right up on the ball. Ledeen up under center. Ledeen, flip out. Majorana, goal line. Touchdown, Hornets.
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Keep giving it back there. The running game dominated that possession. You like to see them switching it up, Tanner. You love to see it.
The very first time you go under center, you know something's going to be different. Olivet did the exact same thing to score their very first touchdown. They went in I form, double tight, and Jalen Johnson ran it in from 2 yards out. The kicker, Lewis, hits a bomb, clears the fence. Seriously, this guy, Cam Lewis, haven't gotten enough chance to talk about him, but goes 3 for 4 on the field goals last week against Calvin, a long of 40. Big number around here. And the one miss blocked. This guy, Coach Kurjasic, said it to us as we interviewed him pregame, said we are really excited to see what he can do. Had an injury in camp. We hadn't seen much of him. They trot him out for that Calvin game, and they say, oh, we need more of this.
Yeah, and Kalamazoo's been trying to find their kicker for a while. This could be their guy, a freshman. You like to see a freshman come in and be so dominant at the kicking end. We're going to see a lot of him for the rest of this season.
It is still Eddie Langton handling the kickoffs, but Cameron Lewis, defensively the kicker out of Saugatuck, is taking over that spot. The place kicker spot, that is. Comets stick with their one deep returner, Carter Leatherwood. Ready, ready, swarm is that kickoff cadence. Eddie Langton. Leatherwood's going to have plenty of room on this. Almost collides. The ball is loose. He's got to improvise. And he is stuffed by Tommy Cardis.
And it's getting a little scrappy out there right now. A little bit of chatter after that play. Credit to Leatherwood for being able to make it work after dropping the football around the 10-yard line. Good job by Kalamazoo there to stop him before anything too crazy happened.
Yeah, it was a good improv job, though, so credit to him on the return. Hey, Braden Ledeen, 10 out of 15, 163, 2 touchdowns. Is this guy doing all right filling in?
Yeah, he's explosive. Doing a fantastic job today.
Comets offense back out there. Strong pistol look. 3 receivers. Jalen Johnson in the backfield. Charlie Grant rolling out. Pumps a couple of times. Grant lofting. And, hey, somebody on the sideline. We got to have that. Make a play over there.
And he made a lot of pump fakes there. He had it all day. Nothing worked there for him. But, again, dangerous. Dangerous on that offensive end. Grant is.
All right, so it's still this kind of second unit defensive line. Aiden Rocha at that left end spot. Nolan Janiga almost kind of has his all-conference team spot already sort of wrapped up there. And then on the right end, Ron Lawrence, freshman out of Detroit, MLK. Grant on the 2nd and 10. Stands tall again. He's able to take off. He is tracked down. Okay, monster play from Rocha.
Yeah, Rocha finding him right away. Rocha, a freshman, hasn't played a lot before this game, played in the first game of the season for Austin. Nicely done.
Falling in at the perfect time. After the last time Grant got loose, he nearly ran for the 4th down. Rather, he nearly ran for the 1st down on that long 3rd down. It became a 4th down. They went for it. They threw the touchdown pass to Toscano. Nonetheless, a 3rd and 9. 3 wide, out to Grant's left. He's looking there first. He's going to throw short of the sticks and then plenty of run after catch. It's 3-on-3 crime there as the tackle's made by Cardis, but it is a 1st down.
And the chains are moving again for Grant and this Olivet offense. Almost 300 yards on the day for Grant. Hasn't slowed down a bit.
I'm happy that that ball was complete to Herbert Crawford because I get to tell you he's a freshman from Pahokee, Florida. I thought you would appreciate that,
Yeah,
Quentin.
no, I do like that.
Pahokee. Very nice. Stretch it out. Left side, Jalen Johnson. Cardis suffocates it.
And he is stopped. No gain really on the play. Maybe 1 yard or so.
So you take a look at the leading tacklers now for Kalamazoo. Yeah, this Raymond Cargill guy is pretty good at football. He's got 8 of them to lead him. Came in with 10 per game coming in. Jack Duggins with 5. And Tommy Cardis now just recorded his 5th stop. We're going to say 2nd and 9 upcoming here. Tight end Toscano has been a favorite target, but more so underneath. He stays into block this time. Grant got some space. Goes check down for the back. Johnson, he's thumped. Cardis, he gave him the Matumbo.
Yeah, he did. Big hit right there. Man, so suffocating. This is what we wanted to see in the first half. Didn't see a lot of it. Kalamazoo talked it over at halftime, able to figure out what's been going wrong, and stopped that run just now.
It's a 3rd and 9. They're going to say that was no gain. As Johnson caught that, and he's first one-on-one with the corner out there, I thought, okay, there's a lot of room to run. And Cardis' flow to get all the way over there and smack that play was huge. 3rd down, 9 to go. Hornets had a clean rusher. Garrison, it's still complete.
Man, and with the pressure on, Grant finds his wide receiver, veteran QB, able to make it happen. Big gain on the play. We've seen that a couple times. A lot of 3rd down conversions, a lot of kind of empty defensive possessions for Kalamazoo, making a lot happen in the first 2 downs, but again, able to convert for Olivet.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's still just a 3-point ball game, but another score, and you run a whole bunch of clock, makes it more interesting. Charlie Grant still standing tall. Strike up the seam. Brashears. He's into the end zone from 42, but a flag. Let's watch this.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain I saw hold number 82 grabbing speed on Kalamazoo College's team. Number 82, Mercier.
Now that would be crazy because that play is clearly going to be a touchdown. You really don't have to do that. You don't have to get involved in the downfield blocking at all.
No, and Speed actually was kind of confused. He didn't really know where the ball was, and then once he found it, was held held up essentially.
Oh, boy. I'm going to exhale again here and catch my breath, because whenever I think I know what the heck's happening around here, it's just not quite right.
Another possession for Olivet with a flag on the field. We've seen it so much in this game, and somehow they've been able to make it work. Either way, it hasn't quite mattered. Maybe the lead would be different. Maybe they would take less time off the clock because of these penalties, but overall, able to find a way through it.
Okay, so do we have goal to go from the 15?
I think you're correct.
And the touchdown is off of the board because the hold occurred during the play.
Yeah, that's a huge way for Kalamazoo to get another chance at stopping this Olivet offense.
Yeah, it's a fascinating way to do it too. Charlie Grant has the time again, has the back Johnson. Johnson had some room and kind of won that collision with Humphreys. You're not going to see that often.
No, you do not. Humphreys is a strong, big dude out there. Does get the stop, but a solid game for Olivet.
Okay, so now I believe you're talking second down, goal to go. But again, the touchdown was taken off of the board. So it's one of those spot of the foul, but the -10 with the holding. It must have had that foul right around the Kalamazoo 5-yard line.
I think you're correct, yeah.
Grant, hard counts. Pistol doubles. Grant, speed option, flip out for the back. Romel Frank, Cargill stood him right up.
Nicely done by Cargill to find him. I mean, we've seen him all over the place in this game, leading Kalamazoo with tackles. I believe he has 10 tackles on the day. Incredibly done.
You've got to run one more snap here for the third quarter. Whether it's a touchdown will, determine whether that's the case or not. Unless it's an incompletion. Now our down marker right now is showing seconds, but it was goal to go and 2 offensive plays have been run. I've got questions.
I think there might be a mistake here.
Interesting. Grant does take it himself and is going to be swamped big time. Bad. That was such a curious sequence. Jacob Hazelwood, big TFL though, I believe.
Yeah, that was a very interesting sequence as the third quarter comes to end. Tanner, I thought there was another down right there. I thought this would be 4th down right now. Am I losing my mind?
So clearly goal to go.
Right.
All the big pass play there, which was before the flag came out, a touchdown, right? And let's say that flag was at the Kalamazoo 5-yard line. That wiped out the touchdown, and it backed the offense up to the 15. First and goal at that point to go from the 15. 2 more offensive plays are run. That carry for Grant is the 3rd offensive snap to be had. I have more questions.
Yeah, I'm a little confused how this is 3rd down. I don't see any of our colleagues in the booth confused either.
Yeah, unfortunately,
something?
Unfortunately, I don't think we're going to get an explanation on this. What I do know is this current drive's been 10 plays, 75 yards. It's a long march. It's been totally circuitous and squirrely and wacky how we've gotten there, but there's still an opportunity for one of the biggest goal line stands, well, certainly of this season, but of recent memory here too.
Yeah, and now Kalamazoo's getting loud for this 3rd down possession to start the 4th quarter. Needs the stop right here. They haven't been able to stop any sort of red zone conversions for Olivet Comets.
I'm circling the tight end Toscano. I don't know about you.
I think I am as well. We've seen him so much in this game.
Romel Frank is in the backfield. Looks like Olivet is showing a strong pistol look. So you've got 2 wide receivers out to the left with the tight end Toscano also that way. Play clock not running down yet. Now the ready for play signaled. All right, so make it a 3rd down, goal to go from the 6. Toscano, motion, sets up in the slot right. Grant looking to his left the whole way, wants to go fade. And it's incomplete, broken up. That's Jermaine Calloway.
Nicely jumped by Callaway, a good buddy of mine actually. Fantastic stop, pulls the belt.
Oh, you got to strap him up, right?
Oh, yeah, exactly. Love that celebration. And now we're looking at 4th and 6. I mean, they're going to go for it here, attempting to keep that 10-point lead.
Gauntlet's been thrown down. This team doesn't kick field goals. Maybe thinking if we get this in here, boy, we're kind of sitting pretty. Find out. On the 4th down, can the Hornets make this monster stand? Grant standing tall. Grant throws. It's close. It's caught. Touchdown.
Wow. And he found him right there. Does seem we have an injured player on the play. Looks like we have Kyle Cruzan on the ground in a lot of pain. Gonna take a quick timeout there. But Tanner, that was a dime pass from Grant. We've said it so many times in this game. That is his 5th touchdown pass. His 5th. Incredible. He has already more than doubled how many touchdowns he's had in the past. It's just incredible.
Yeah, this is half a season worth of production for all Olivet quarterbacks coming in. They had 10 total touchdown passes on the year to 6 interceptions, a number you can win with, and get 5 more. Plus, it's a hat trick for Brashears. As he caught that right toward the back line, taps at least 1 foot in. You only need the 1 foot, might have gotten the 2, and makes this just one more dramatic beat to the story. All right, extra point coming. Those have been a little rocky.
Yep, gonna need this one if they want to keep that 10-point lead. Make Kalamazoo earn every single point.
Kick is up this time. It's good. 14:49 to play in the 4th quarter. I still want to frame this under opportunity. Opportunity, do you know what I mean?
I don't. What do you mean, Tanner? Kind of explain to me your thought process on this one.
I'm so glad that you allowed me to do that. You could not ask for a better situation for Braden Ledeen to write himself into the history books. Dawson Scoopin goes down 2nd quarter. Guy hasn't had a turnover the entire year. He led the 3-0 start. He had the best offensive half that anybody's ever had in Kalamazoo football in the history of forever, 130 plus years, with those 6 total touchdowns in the home opener week 1, right? Ledeen, maybe the expectations aren't as high, and he is balling out. He has a lot of work to do. Down 10 here in the 4th quarter, but I don't think that there is a better possible opportunity in front of anybody than for Braden Ledeen right now to turn this ball game around, figure out a way, find a way here for homecoming.
I agree, and Ledeen, he is pumped up. On those defensive possessions, and Kalamazoo had to make a stop. He was the one guy who I really saw getting all of his teammates amped up to cheer, make a ton of noise, try to stop Olivet from hearing their play calls. But yes, I think you're totally right, Tanner. This is a great opportunity for Ledeen to really show what he can do and perform in the clutch.
Kickoff comes. 14 minutes, 49 seconds to play in the football game. The Olivet Comets riding an 11-game win streak in the series. Hornets backs against the wall for the 4th quarter. Hannafin watches it fly, touchback. The longest pass play for Kalamazoo is only 29 yards, but our eyes tell us they can move the ball at will, yes?
Yes, I agree. And if there's a statistic that shows off how many yards on those passing plays we get, I mean, there have been at least over 5, maybe 8 passing plays or so that are over 20 yards we've seen from Ledeen and Scoopin in the first half. I mean, they're just really, really valuable passing plays.
Hornets will start with 1 back, 1 tight end, 3 receivers. They'll start on the ground, 2. Connor Bell, a good first down carry, make it 6 or 7.
Connor Bell with a nice gain right there. I like the way they start out these possessions with a good way to set up 2nd and short. Gives Ledeen an opportunity to show off that arm strength and try to get something going here as there's an empty backfield. Really gives them a chance. We know he might be going deep.
He'll roll out first. Ledeen, a big chunk for Hannafin down that sideline. Here it comes.
Yeah, and I said this just a moment ago, those 20-plus yards plays, those really high value receptions that both Hannafin and Zekman have been getting from Ledeen have made all the difference. Empty backfield again.
Yeah, watch that tempo. When they're hot, they're hot. They'll motion Bell into the backfield this time. They'll throw short. Zekman, he's going to be stopped right away. Not a lot to be had. Good tackle from Amir Carter.
Looks like about 3 yards gained there. Not as comfortable of a second down as they had last time. Ledeen still moving fast with these passes.
No doubt about it. Throw a smoke over the head of Hannafin. Incomplete.
Yeah, he's going to want that one back. Just a little too excited on that pass play there.
But if you had Carson Mote out there at 6'5", 205 pounds, you'd be tempted to do that too, right? You get him blocking a smaller, lighter defensive back.
You wouldn't. These guys are huge. Mote especially is huge. Throwing the ball high for him with someone significantly smaller than him on the defensive end, you're going to be looking for him.
Ledeen steps up. He's got the room to run. There's a flag down. Ledeen buried at the end. Check this.
I'm not too sure what happened there. May have been a holding on Kalamazoo College's offense. Yeah, and they're talking to each other about that one.
That's the first indication that I saw. It's our umpire, who's got, in my opinion, the most fabulous name of anybody in these MIAA crews, Onesiphorus Burrell, who is catching the guilty party.
Yes, and Kalamazoo moving back. Not something you want to see on third down. It was a great scramble by Ledeen. We haven't seen a lot of scrambling from Ledeen in his debut half, so let's see if he can make it work out one more time.
Third down, much longer this time. Ledeen to take the shot. Zekman. And looks like the flags are everywhere. 3 first down.
Yeah, too many hands there from Amir Carter. Another young guy out there. There are a lot of young players on this team. It's just something you got to learn over time.
Well, would you want to be on an island with Zekman?
No, God, no. Zekman he's a huge dude. Not only is he tall, but he's quick. He's been catching some crazy balls this season.
Yeah, Zekman's listed 6'2", 194. Another guy that might have been shortchanged a little bit, and he came in second only to Hannafin in receiving and just continues this breakout. He was the most chosen guy when I asked all of these Kalamazoo players to fill out some information for me and said, all right, guys, who is the number one guy that you think is likely to break out? Aaron Zekman was by far the number one answer. You had at least 13 Hornets that picked him. Now, the chains were showing third down originally here. That's been since flipped. It's one of those, in high school, when you do get the pass interference, you've got just 15 yards no matter what, but this is an automatic first down here at this level. Ledeen look over to the sideline after the freeze. So it is a first down. It's a big shift in field position. It's Hornets ball at the Olivet 41. 13 minutes, 5 seconds to play. Ledeen, handoff for Bell. Had me whipping my neck around thinking, okay, is Ledeen going to pull this?
Right. Nice little gain there, though. Bell, consistent as always, getting them in better field position every time he touches that ball.
And you've nailed it, in fact, because normally the negative rushing plays are kind of sprinkled in there for Kalamazoo, and sometimes they struggle with that and give up some penetration. You don't have any negative rushes for Bell or Majorana today. 3-by-1 to the left. Ledeen wants to look that way. Double move Mote. Now he curled up again. Mote put him in a blender, and he's got a first down.
That's a big dude with some long arms, able to get the first down going for him. Reaching out over that line, able to give him the first down. Moving fast again, though.
Yeah, they are. They're back on the ball. Zekman is wide. Hannafin is in the slot to the right. Go RPO. Throw. Zekman! He's wide open. Touchdown, Hornets!
Ledeen showing up again to Zekman. These two guys, they've got some chemistry. Zekman was open. This is a high-scoring game, Tanner. 36 to 40, unless they make this field goal here.
You know what they say about chickens and hatching. You take it easy.
Yeah, knock on some wood.
Extra point coming. Cameron Lewis bombed it.
Well, thankfully I knocked on wood before he got the ball there because that made all the difference. But
of course,
either way, Ledeen dropping dimes to Zekman. Incredible.
You can continue to play press man coverage against Hannafin and Zekman. But why would you? You know what I mean?
Oh, I do know what you mean. And Zekman right now, 2 touchdowns on the day. That's his second one. And with two guys like Hannafin and Zekman, the defense has got to be wondering, who do we focus on? Who do I want to look at? You've really got to look at both of them. If you let one of them go, they're going to get that ball and they're going to score.
Olivet, you've got plenty of opportunity to get the ball back for your offense and take off a bunch of time. But 12 minutes and 4 seconds, there's going to be a whole lot of possessions left in this game. You want to talk about a lot to think about. How do they manage this offensive drive with only the 3-point lead and the Hornets offense absolutely raring?
Yeah, it's interesting. Olivet has had such a odd game with so many penalties, still able to make it work. It's just an explosive offense that I'm seeing out there for Olivet today.
Langton on the tee, left hash, 35-yard line. Going to be a really long run for Leatherwood to pick this up. He will. About the 5. Flag down. He was about to get loose. Jalen Bowles, Swain, 29 for the Hornets, wrapped him up. But this flag was down before the 20. This will probably come way, way back.
Yeah, Leatherwood slow to get up right now, taking a second. He got through a lot of dudes right there. He's getting up just a lot to handle from that Kalamazoo College defense.
You bet. Haven't had the announcement of the penalty yet. Now it is a hold, I believe. We fully lost the referee's microphone, right?
I think we have, and I saw at halftime them testing it out, trying to see if it works, but now it's just gone.
Yeah.
So many errors for audio here sometimes. So hopefully you can hear us loud and clear.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're doing our best, folks, as always. Division III moments. Shotgun for Grant. Grant goes with the toss, underhand, and that's tracked for a loss, Cargill.
A little bit of fear if you're Olivet. I mean, they were going for the football, trying to get the fumble. Still a loss of yardage on the play, which you have to be very happy about if you are Kalamazoo College. Excuse me, no gain on the play. I thought it was a little behind the scrimmage, but again, 2nd and 10.
Charlie Grant, a monster day that he's working on. But is it all for naught? Find out. Grant tall in the pocket once again. Complete, short. Brashears this time, 3rd, make it 5 or so to go.
Brashears having quite the day with over 140 yards receiving after that catch. 6 receptions. If we could see how many targets players could have, like,
sure,
that would just be great. It's like fantasy football.
Of course.
Knowing how many targets your players get. And Brashears has just been catching everything he's got so far.
I'm absolutely guilty of that myself. I'm glad you said something. Glued to the screens, kids these days. Pistol, doubles, Grant, 3rd down. Throw quick, it's tipped incomplete.
Kalamazoo College defense, again, making a stop on the play. Just a little short, and there's going to be a change of offense now, bringing the punting team out.
While we've got a brief pause here, can I give you some updates from around the MIAA?
Of course, give them.
We have a final Hope over Trine 55-35, but that Hope defense has looked a little bit suspect. And last week, Carter St. John of Alma wrote one more epic chapter to his book. We'll tell you about that in a second. The punt. Good looking one. Hannafin tracked well back, and you see him fair catch these pretty often. Eason Hawks continues to perform, snapping off some great punts.
Yeah, it's been a strong suit for them. I mean, he's right around the 34-yard line, punting it all the way from, gosh, I mean, quite the distance. Well done by Olivet to get the ball out of there and give Kalamazoo College not as good of field position as they could have wanted.
So again, that end of the Hope and Alma game, Carter St. John with a walk-off touchdown pass in OT to end it. And one other final score we'll tell you about in just a moment. Before that, the Hornets start another drive trailing by just 3. Landon Russell, the first down carry, 2, maybe 3.
Russell, solid gain, read the defense really well, trying to find the openings. We saw an amazing gain from Russell earlier in this game to give Kalamazoo a touchdown, +2.
3 wide receivers, 2 of them are stacked out there. You got big bodies with the tight end Johnston and the receiver Moat. Ledeen is looking that way first. Hannafin curls up, ball's waiting for him. First down, a dime.
That's just too easy out there for Ledeen. Too easy, too open, moving the chains.
All right. Other MIAA score that has gone final. Adrian is 5-0, took down Albion 28-7 earlier today at 1 p.m. Thank you. Swing it out for Russell. Russell got a lot of room. This guy, after the catch, dangerous.
Yeah, he is very dangerous. Looks like he is down right now with a little bit of an injury. Unsure what happened on that one. I didn't see it. But again, he is so shifty. He's not as, slow-paced as these other running backs are, but he is able to really make a move out of that and find space as we take an official timeout here.
Yeah, you do have an injury, and I thought I saw Russell on the deck a little bit longer, a couple of beats beyond the normal tackle length, and that's exactly what you got. He takes a knee.
Right, and now Kalamazoo College is also taking a knee for their friend here, their teammate. You hate to see that as a freshman, getting an injury, no matter how big or small. It just puts a tear in it. Puts a tear in your season and your progression as a player.
Agreed. And CJ Aldred, we've been mentioning that, Kalamazoo's left guard, who's been rotating in and out today and has been inactive much of the season with injury himself. He's one who has been there so many times in this exact spot. Your head athletic trainer, Kathleen White, out there examining you. Coach Zorbo himself right on top of Landon Russell here. And if the day should be done, it is another valiant effort because you're probably talking about a 2nd and short. Remember, let's pull back, right? We hate to say, okay, forget about this. This doesn't matter, right? We're going to still give the humanistic side to you. But when it appears he leaves on the cart here, there is still a football game to be played. A 3-point game in the 4th quarter with your rival who has an 11-game win streak. Your chance to utterly change that narrative to lead a unbelievable comeback. And for Braden Ledeen to write one of the absolutely best chapters in this Kalamazoo history book all time. Russell is going to be helped onto the cart right now.
Yeah, and that's a big loss for Kalamazoo. We saw him earlier make that huge difference maker play. It helped them get that touchdown. As you can see, all of his teammates giving him love. This Kalamazoo College team is very close to each other. A lot of really great guys. But now Kalamazoo's offense is going to be coming out with a lot more energy. One of their teammates is down, but that does not mean all of them are down and out. As we give the audience, give applause for Russell. All right, Tanner.
Yes.
Looks like we're back out there. What are we seeing? Could Kalamazoo convert again and get another touchdown to make this game actually, in fact, give them the lead?
Yeah, indeed it would. I'm seeing the effectiveness of the run game, though it will not be explosive. You can stick with that a whole lot more because it is so tight in this game. You'll eat up a little bit more clock. You'll keep Olivet's offense off the sideline, give your defense a break. But they're going to throw here Ledeen a boot this time. Hannafin with some separation, first down and more.
Nicely done. Big hit from Olivet on Hannafin. Hannafin's got to get himself out of there. I know it's hostile on that bench.
Yeah, it's the price that you pay as any other team's #1 receiver, but especially with his degree of unbelievable usage, that should be double-digit catches for him. every single play, target on this guy's head.
Indeed.
Again, they'll get up to the line, get that big clap and the hard count, and then look to the sideline for another play. I believe you've got Trey Ritchie right now wearing the headset, talking to the offensive coaching staff, signaling in plays from the sideline. First down from the 38. Run with Majorana. Not much at all. I believe he ran into, was it the guard there, Sam Reynolds?
I think you're correct on that. Not too big of a gain. Going to be second and still decently long. Ledeen has been able to convert majority of these, though. I mean, he's got 73% completion rate so far this game, which is pretty darn incredible for coming in a little late.
And cold and off of the bench. Really difficult ask, but this guy's cooking. Motion Hannafin in. He becomes the inside receiver. After a move, Hannafin, stiff arm, gets a chunk of the way there, but it's still going to be a third down.
Solid gain again. Still going to be third down, as you said. We're looking at a lot of different opportunities on this third down play. Do you want to play it safe? It's still going to be a little bit long for 3rd and 4 to have a running play. Do you want to go for Zekman, Hannafin? Who are we looking at here? Change it up. Maybe go for Moat. He hasn't gotten the ball as much, so they might not be having a good eye on him.
Even the tight end Johnston as the point man of the bunch to the right. Something else to think about. Ledeen on the 3rd and medium. Coming back to his left, sidesteps a couple. You got a flag down again. That's an incompletion too for Majorana. But what would you do with this penalty if it is in fact an offensive penalty? Would you decline it?
Yeah, I would totally decline it. I mean, making it 4th down. I doubt Kalamazoo College is going to attempt to kick it from there. They would probably go for the 4th down. Kalamazoo Hornets are moving back, and that will be a penalty on them. 5-yard penalty, if that. And so, yes, it is going to be 4th down and awfully long.
So now we're still showing 3rd down. Because they took the yardage, that down then will be replayed.
Right.
No worries. So it does make for a more difficult 3rd down again. Call it 14 yards to go. Ledeen, after rolling to his right, can't find anybody. Gonna have to tuck it. And okay, now the decision really does come.
Yeah, and had to play it safe there. No one's open. You don't want to throw the ball away, have a risky pass. We're looking at 4th down. And looks like they're talking it over. Do we try and kick it? Oh, no, they're going to go for the punt with Moat.
You get it, right? A 3-point game. All you need at some point before that final horn is a field goal. So you pin Olivet way deep here, and you just see what happens and you trust your defense.
Need that big stop.
Moat, that rollout punt. Got it off side of his foot big time this time. It's always so tough to spot that, but it's probably not going to net them very much field position.
No, not at all. It's looking like they're aiming for the 35-yard line for Olivet. Not what you want to see for Kalamazoo College. I mean, the stops have been a lot more frequent in the second half for the Kalamazoo College defense, but again, you can't count Olivet out. They have figured out ways to make things work, even when things haven't looked like they were. It just hasn't looked great sometimes, and Olivet's figured it out.
And still a 6.9 yards a play clip because of hitting those big plays when they've needed to through the air. It's been Charlie Grant to sling this thing. Motion the receiver, Bashirs. Run that way behind him. Cardis took his shot. First guy there misses. This is a gain of maybe 2 to 3 on the first.
And yeah, everyone's a little slow to get up as the game is coming into this 4th quarter. Gosh, and you just see so much talking out there. It's such a close game. Any sort of in-conference game, you're going to see a lot of, camaraderie and also a lot of anger at opponents and whatnot.
Cooler heads will always prevail. Love it, hate it, or indifferent. Pistol. Grant, long snap count, bleeding that play clock dry. Now they'll run it straight up the gut. Jalen Johnson, not a whole lot. A 3rd down and medium upcoming.
3rd down and medium. If you're Kalamazoo, you're going to be happy about that. But again, another injured player, and a helmet comes off. Looks like there's no injury on the play, just people, again, slow to get up.
Yeah, so when you do have that helmet pop off, you got to check out for a play. I think that's what we had there. And I believe it's Janinga that came off, so Mahmoud Al-Safadi is now in there at the nose spot for Kalamazoo. Watch that. Hornets showing a whole bunch of pressure. They're going to pop out of it, and it's a bit of contact. It's incomplete.
Great read there by number 27, Aiden Paquin. Amazing job to read that pass and not allow them to get the first down. It's going to be 4th and 5, bringing out the punt team. Kalamazoo College is going to get another chance.
Something, 9 lives, cat, something or other. I'm surprised that there was no call truly, as Paquin, it looked like to us, arrived a little bit early. Freshman out of Onstead. Guy is... now, a guy coming on way, way late. This is going to have to be backed up. Kalamazoo should likely take this, back them up 5, and get it repunted. I mean, you've got to stay on the sideline at that point, right?
Yeah,
Even if you're running the play with 10, it's a punt. You've got to stay on the sideline.
I know you do.
You want to have everybody out there. You want to have 0 issues ever with personnel. But if you do, I think that's the last thing you could possibly do is while the snap is in the air, come from the sideline onto the field. Very surprised about that.
Yeah, gosh, you don't see that too often, and when you do, it's kind of devastating because those are mistakes you can fix so easily. And now they're going to get another chance at it. I'm not too sure.
Well, so they may be saying, hey, you can just take this yardage from where Hannafin Fair caught it, and we'll just tack it onto that.
Well, I guess that works too.
But if that's the case, they haven't walked it up yet.
No, they haven't.
Here we are.
And now they have.
So it's just a free 5. It's not the most costly. But if that isn't a microcosm of what's kind of gone wrong with Olivet and their attention to detail in those things, I don't know what is, because it's a winless football team coming in who's keeping Kalamazoo in this one. Hornets, 1st and 10 from their 35, thinking ball game. Connor Bell to start on the ground. Bell is going to be decked by Carlton Freeman.
Nice gain, little gain there. We're looking at Olivet's penalties. 12 on the game right now. 12, which is a number you don't see too often. Sometimes that's a team's average within the first 4 games of the season. So
Ledeen, after the pump, he had to eat this. He's lucky he covered that thing up, but he is sacked by Dontrell Thomas.
And now it's going to be 3rd and long. Kalamazoo College has seen this 3rd and long, seen it a couple times in this game, able to convert. They're 6 and 11 right now on those 3rd downs.
It's a great number. It's over 50%. They came into the season 50% on the year. All that sideline. Rowdy. Braden Ledeen on the 3rd and 11. Comeback. Caught. Zekman, 1st down.
Nicely done by Zekman to get open and not do anything too fancy, knowing where the chains are and getting right in front of them. You don't want to go too deep. You don't want to be too short.
You must, on this possession, end with the ball in your possession. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Complete for Mo. Go and expound on that. They've got to make this the last drive of the ball game, right?
They really do. They have to take their time, make sure everything goes according to plan, but also you don't want to be too explosive, because if you get a nice touchdown right here, it still gives Olivet a chance to stop you on the defensive end at the end of the game, or do better time management and get a touchdown of their own and take the lead and get this one out of hand.
I'm glad you're so on the same page with me. After the RPO, Ledeen had Moat, sailed it little high, incomplete. Another 3rd down upcoming.
Yeah, and Moat's a tall guy, just couldn't get to that one right there. 3rd down and shorter than they've seen in the past.
Went for Zekman last time. Hannafin is quite literally always an option, no matter the coverage that he's seeing. You've got 18 catches between those two. You circle one of them. Ledeen, 3rd and 6. Ledeen stepping up. Ledeen threw a man off. Ledeen lofts short and nearly intercepted. He left it a little bit too short, and Aaron McCray knocks it away.
And way for Ledeen to get out of that tackle. I like the shot downfield. Didn't work, but they're going to have to go for it on this 4th down.
I mean, you're probably right.
It's going to be a challenge, but it's a way to kind of confirm to get a score, at least some sort of score. Once you get past that 30-yard line, you're able to make a field goal, but again, converting right now is the most important part of this game. Pivotal moment.
You do have to give a ton of credit to the end there, the edge pressure, Javon Peterson, 42 for Olivet. 4th down, 6 to go. Ledeen went deep. Hannafin, he's mugged! And it's a first down via penalty one more time.
That has been the story of this game for Olivet. Flag after flag after flag, stopping the play, allowing Kalamazoo to get bailed out in moments like that.
If that is the play that sort of decides this ball game, it's so juicy, these stories that are being written. I want to just type up the whole recap myself right now. Hey, you know where you can find that when this game is over, by the way, hornets.kzoo.edu, the official website for all 18 of Kalamazoo's varsity athletics programs. But fortunately, Steve Wydeen, our sports information director, will handle that for us. A huge penalty. That's the biggest penalty of the season that we've seen here from Angel, guys. What a ball game you have picked to tune in. Everybody who's been here from the moment we started, thank you oh so much. Hornets still have 35 yards to go. Ledeen might just go for it all right now. Moat, touchdown!
Moat with the touchdown. My goodness, his size finally comes in handy at the end. There are some flags on the field, though. I am seeing a couple. What a catch, though. My goodness, Tanner. Ledeen, he is finding these receivers like no other. Like, dude, you know? It's just incredible. Tanner, you seem speechless right now. You're in awe.
Oh, Quentin, my heart can hardly take it. This is a little bit too much. Now you got somebody coming on really, really late. Do they have 11? This is not what you want to see before the PAT attempt comes. It's a unit that struggled a little bit. Coming in, they were 11 of 14 rather on their extra points. But I believe that this play clock was held up because of the substitutions.
And you need this extra point right here
to take it to a 4-point ball game. Cam Lewis is good. 2 minutes and 55 seconds separate Kalamazoo and 11 years of history erased. 11 in a row since 2013 have not been able to celebrate a win against the Olivet Comets. If it's Braden Ledeen and Carson Moat who snap that streak, you're going to write this one into the annals forever.
And again, I mean, the game's not over quite yet, but that would be quite the way to kind of stitch his name into the history books as the substitute who came in for Scoopin. I mean, we don't even see Scoopin out there right now. Ledeen really taking control of this one, and in a fashion that we've never seen before.
21 of 29, 304 yards, and 4 touchdowns in relief of Dawson Scoopin. That was 35 yards through the air for Carson Moat. It was on a rope, and you still put it up high where your 6'5" monster receiver can go and just play Randy Moss and hawk that down. Eddie Langton kicking off. Fielded in the air. I think you're going to say there was a fair catch signal.
Yeah.
And didn't necessarily want to do that.
Looks like there was.
You see plenty of up-backs doing that, but not with quite that much room to run. I think you had 52, Lucas Rosso. Is that who you saw?
Yeah, and Rosso seems like kind of confused. I didn't know if I saw a signal either. I'm seeing, you know, the guys in the lobby talking about if that was a fair catch signal or not either. But again, it is what it is, and here comes Olivet from the 22-yard line.
Okay, one drive for the ball game. Kalamazoo up for 2 minutes, 54 seconds. Charlie Grant has a stack to his left. Looks that way first. Grant, you got a lot of guys signaling incomplete. I think it is.
Yeah, it looks like it was. He kind of slid with his knees going out of bounds.
Intended for their leading receiver, Rashawn Mercier. Janinga is back in at the nose spot. You just saw Mahmoud Al-Safadi come off for Kalamazoo. You have two freshman ends out there, Aiden Rocha, or pardon me, on the right end you have Jacob Hazelwood, the junior from Salem. One sack would go a long way towards ending this thing. That's in the back of my mind. Grant booting to his left. Grant lofts at a receiver with plenty of room. Good job sitting down, and a first down.
A first down there for Olivet. Good conversion. They still have a lot of time on the clock. Remember, when it gets that 2-minute mark, we got a timeout. So, again, moving fast, though.
Yeah, the sticks are barely set when this snap comes. Grant throws. Bulls Swain swung, missed. This could be out the gate. Herbert Crawford, a 65-yard touchdown.
And just when you thought this game couldn't get any crazier, it does. A touchdown from Olivet there to put them up. If they go for the field goal, extra point, put them up by 3. Man, Tanner, this has been a back-and-forth game, and you love to see it.
Insanity. There were times I thought that last year's Calvin game, the 33-31 game, couldn't be topped in any kind of way. Well, guess what? Kalamazoo is going to have one more 2-minute drill to show. Another important extra point is put through by Angel Potter.
Yeah, very important there. Making Kalamazoo, if they do have to go for a field goal, only be able to tie it. I don't know. I don't doubt Ledeen at all on this final drive. I mean, we said the final drive from Olivet was going to happen, but again, Kalamazoo's getting the ball back here.
I don't know how many lives a football team can be given within a game, but when you have one more golden opportunity, what are you going to do with it? Forget all the noise. Forget no more scooping. Forget the very concerning numbers that you've given up to an Olivet offense that hadn't been scoring all those points. Forget all of that. It's one drive again for the ball game. That situation didn't change.
It did not. And they're right back where they started only 5 minutes ago in this game, down by 3.
Hannafin is going to field this one this time, inside his own 4. Hannafin is maybe 1 yard beyond the touchback spot. Now, it's funny, I like Duggins' thought there. He kind of knew that ball was down, and he picks it up, and had it been a live football, he might have gained something out of it.
Right. Looks like Hannafin is down. This is something you really don't want to see.
Oh, no.
Hannafin's grabbing, looks like his calf, I think, on that one. But again, I didn't get a great look on what happened there. And we've seen Hannafin this season take some really, really hard hits. I mean, he's been sandwiched in the end zone multiple times, able to hold on to the ball. Again, seemed like he was sandwiched out there by his own teammate and Olivet.
It was your reigning MIAA Special Teams Player of the Week coming in. He had 3 returns, had the long one of 44 that started the offense at midfield, plus his ho-hum offensive day is 11 catches for 145 and a touchdown. This guy is going to be dotted all up, down, and around these leaderboards. He came in already on pace for over 1,070 yards. That would be a 5th all-time performance. But every eye in this place, no matter what color they're wearing, is focused on the turf right now, just inside the numbers, near the 20-yard line.
Yeah, and this is, again, something you don't want to see. I mean, Hannafin and Zekman have over 100 yards, both alone. I mean, Zekman has over 115 yards so far in this game. He's going to have to step up if Hannafin is not able to get back up and stay in this game. And there's lots of trainers out there. He is up on his feet, which is something you really like to see. Able to walk himself to the sideline.
You know who's helping him out there? It's Coach Bubba Wilson. one of the most accomplished players that this Kalamazoo program has seen, twice all MIAA. And Coach Wilson right now, it's tough to imagine what you want to say to this guy who, if it were at all physically in any way possible, this guy would be out there. He would say, I want the ball on this possession. Throw it to me with the game on the line. Hornets put 3 into the boundary. The one wide is Carson Moat to the left. Ledeen starts looking to his right. Here's Josh Anderson. Anderson has a chance to become that kind of consistent third option.
And you're going to want to keep doing that, getting out of bounds, stopping the clock as the 2-minute time comes along. Ledeen's got to have a ton of energy. He's got to be confident, but he can't get too carried away with those deep passes because every once in a while might be a little bit inaccurate, and Olivet could take advantage of that.
Josh Anderson had 7 for 98 and a touchdown against Bethany. There is nothing to suggest that they are not utterly confident with him in this offense. Hasn't been utilized much beyond that, and yet, if there were ever a time, this would be it. For just another option in the offense. Doesn't have to be the go-to guy. You still have Moat, who clearly you can take deep shots to outside after absolutely mossing a man for the 35-yard touchdown last time. You still have a number of tight ends underneath, Johnson as well as Johnston, that you both like. Arvin Krishnan, last time we were out here against Anderson, he caught a touchdown. There is so much that you can do with 2 full minutes, a couple of timeouts, and the way this offense is humming.
I agree. Lots of depth for this Kalamazoo College team. Ledeen's got to make it work on this 2nd and short to keep it going.
Don't have to get the first down here, but you may want to. 3 receivers to the left. He'll throw for the right. Zekman got a little bubble. Zekman dragging bodies.
Zekman's going to be that wide receiver 1 out there right now as Hannafin has to go to the booth, but nice first down conversion. Got to go quick here. Clock is ticking.
A bunch to the short side, to the right. Ledeen's got his eyes. Another out for Anderson, complete. This football is moving quite well.
And that's, again, what you want to see. Moving out of bounds, stopping the clock, giving yourself a second to breathe.
There's still the idea in the very back of your mind of the field goal. You have to get into range there, but Cam Lewis, good from 40 last week against Calvin. Empty it out. 5 wide. Ledeen. Ledeen off his back foot. Moat. Ton of room to run. Carson Moat.
Great catch by Moat. He's going to be a target out there right now as the chains are moving. Oh, but there is a player who is injured that will cause the clock to stop.
I think it's Amari Carter. Believe I see 12 in the white.
I think you are correct there.
What a time for this in the ball game. Now think about it. It's an extra timeout for the offense. You didn't have to spend that. You have so much time now with your 2 timeouts in your back pocket, 91 ticks, and you just made that big chunk for Mo.
Yes, and Ledeen now, with that time not ticking off the clock, he can take a second to think about what he's going to do, take his helmet off, get a sip of water, look around at his teammates, check in with everyone. They have done a fantastic job in the second half at grouping together, communicating on the offensive end. This has been an offensive game just on both sides of the field for Olivet and Kalamazoo, but an offensive game that we have been loving to watch.
I'm looking back historically and trying to find if there has ever been a higher scoring cumulative ball game on Angel Field ever. Haven't found one yet. I'll try and ask a little bit more about it, but that's something to keep in mind. 3-by-2. The 3 are into the boundary. Hannafin back onto the football field. Ledeen booting left. Ledeen taking another deep shot. It's underthrown. Is it intercepted? It is. The Comets might have called ball game.
Man, Olivet with the big break, big interception to hopefully call the ball game here with 1:19 on the clock. Ledeen walking off slowly. I mean, gosh, a great showing from him so far. just a really dangerous pass, and it resulted in a big change of the game. I mean, man. Tanner, what do you got to say about that?
The last time he gives a big, strong receiver a chance for Moat, it ended up being one of the most spectacular touchdown tosses we've seen. Maybe you do have to take that chance. Maybe that is just the risk you run sometimes when you are asked to carry a load just like this.
Yeah, and here comes Olivet, just going to run the football, try to get the clock out. Kalamazoo College's defense is going to be swarming, trying to figure out what to do. And Tanner, I did just find Kalamazoo College, we are close to having the scoring record here on Angel Field. I'm not too sure. This record was a long time ago. In 1928, 103 points were scored combined for both teams, going way back in the history books for this one.
Yeah, that's the kind of day that this has been. You start having your statisticians and, you know, us as it were, the sports information department and all this and that and the other, digging through all of those books and saying, I'm not certain that this has ever been done, but yes. So you're talking probably the second, maybe third highest scoring game in over 130 years of this program.
Indeed. Now we got a timeout on the field. Kalamazoo's really got to talk this one over. I mean, trying to punch that ball out, trying to make a fourth down happen, essentially, as it is 2nd and 4 or 3 yards or so, somewhere in between there.
Hornets have one more timeout. On the 2nd down carry. Same look here. They motion the tight end Toscano. He'll set up, hand in the dirt. Grant is going to throw this, and that should have them the first down, likely seal the ball game. Adme Sufferant.
Yeah, there you go. Olivet able to pull through, not make any mistakes in this last possession. An amazing interception for Olivet. You see their sidelines getting really pumped up. Thankful for the first win of the season, this really young team.
The junior corner, Kanan Maynard, out of Charlotte, 5'9", 160, will have that game-sealing interception. There was such a mass of bodies that we were unable to see really who came down with it. A knee for Charlie Grant, and that will do it for the ball game.
That will do it, Tanner, indeed. Kalamazoo College, I mean, keeping their heads low after that, but a showing like no other. Something we have not seen so far this season and in a long time, to be frank.
Arguably ever. It's probably fair to say we've never seen a ball game quite like this, especially on Angel. A 47-44 final score. A scoregami, if you will, if you've heard the term, right? A brand new score like that's never happened before.
And a scoregami this game was, as they're shaking hands to end this one out. You've got to give a lot of credit for Ladine for showing up today. He did such an amazing job coming off the bench, although he did not and he wasn't able to perform in the clutch. Again, an amazing showing from Ladine.
Yeah, we'll breeze through all the numbers for you. I say breeze as if this isn't going to take a while, right? We'll warn you, folks. Charlie Grant. First couple of weeks, it's Danny Avila at the helm for Olivet. They start winless. They make the change. Grant's coming out party goes like this. 27 of 40, 410 yards, 6 touchdowns with that game winner from 65 to Herbert Crawford, the freshman out of Pahokee, Florida. 410 yards, 6 tuds. Talk about it.
It's just incredible. And going into this game, we knew that Olivet's offense was very, very pass-focused. I mean, you look at the game last week against Adrian, only 11 rush yards allowed. They come out of the gates running a little bit, and then all of a sudden, Grant has been trusted with the ball to deliver those dimes down the field. I mean, 6 touchdowns and 400 yards. It's incredible, an amazing debut for Grant.
And Olivet rushes 28 times for only 85 yards, just over 3 a tick. The run defense was where it needed to be. Kalamazoo's rushing offense, a little bit of a different story. It goes like this: 30 carries for 50 yards. The big salient point here is Braden Ledeen throws for 353 and 4 touchdowns in relief of Dawson Skupin. Think about that more, right? What it means if Skupin misses any more time for this season. That's a very difficult assignment. And even so, you know that this program is in good hands with Ledeen, presumably for next year as well. 353, 4 touchdowns for him on 25 out of 34, just that final interception as the Hornets come up short by 3.
Indeed. Ledeen did such an amazing job. Skupin not out there, unsure. We'll find out probably for the next game what's going on there. But Ledeen was really able to find Hannafin and Zekman throughout this whole game. They've gotten so many yards. I mean, it was an offense-dominated game, and one I won't forget for a while, Tanner. I'm so glad I was able to watch this one and commentate here with you on this beautiful evening afternoon right now.
Yeah, with the 2 p.m. kickoff, you pretty much said it. Kalamazoo is going to fall to 3-2 on the season, 0-2 in MIAA play, and for a 12th consecutive year will fall to the Olivet Comets. Olivet is going to get their first win overall on the season here for 2025, let alone their first MIAA win, and in one of the more improbable ways you'll ever see, a final score of 47-44. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, Tanner, a beautiful day, a beautiful game. Kalamazoo just couldn't pull this one through, but that's all I've got to say.
All right. I thank you so much again to everybody that's joined us today. It was a saga, and another chapter is written in it. Olivet 47-44 over Kalamazoo. I'm Tanner White, alongside Quentin Powers. Thanks so much for joining me again today, brother. And everybody, we will see you in 3 weeks' time after the Kalamazoo bye week back here at home.